Oh, hello. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to Broken.
Yeah,
I
that would
don't
help.
know. You're the one. You again. We do this. If you, we have said it before, but we run this thing like the nuclear, launch codes. I got one button to press on my side. He's got one to press on his because his internet's better. Although our internet is better now over here. But anyway, so I don't know when it's gone live. So then don't be like, well, Aiden, why don't you start talking right now? I am
If
talking right now.
if
How
I'm
are you?
significantly louder than Aiden, do tell.
Oh yeah, please let us know about volume levels because both of us mess with stuff in between streams because of our own independent work. I'm feeling better in terms of I was very sick last week. I'm finally feeling better. I actually I recorded while I was sick, and I was very kind of worried about it. And I asked some people to listen to some bits of it. I could hear myself sounding nasally. Other people couldn't hear it, so I guess that was a good thing. But it means that I got work done a little bit faster than had I waited for my
My
voice
volume
to
is
recover, which
low,
it's
really?
still not even 100%. Spoon is low. Okay. Sometimes it happens, Spoon. Sometimes you're very loud.
How on earth am I low? My volume is like cranked as high as shit.
Yeah, crank it. Then Superman that hoe.
Okay, well, hold on.
But I am feeling a bit better. While he's doing that, I will say why we're a little bit later than usual today. I mean, there's always a reason, right? But why we're
Because
later
Aiden's
than
gay.
usual. A little bit, yeah. I guess you could say that. I was cooking today, and I had been wanting to cook for a couple of days. I had two plans, one for like American dinner and one for American breakfast. And in my head, when I was planning all this out, I was like, "This is not that much food." And then you can
And
see
then
what
you made it.
happened, and it's so much food. I don't know. In fact, as you can see here, I also have chicken thighs that are still marinating in the fridge that I didn't even get to because, I mean, look at this spread.
There
To
we go.
explain what it is, the little pies in the back, people asked me they were pecan pies. They're not many pecan pies, so that would have been cute. These are burgers. It's burger meat with a like a Velveeta style sort of. I used American style cheese that I mixed up with some butter and milk, and I mixed that in with some burger meat that I put like some barbecue sauce and some spicy stuff in, and then the cups themselves that the burgers are in are made out of a mixture of buttermilk batter and smashed tater tots. Then I've got some poutine over here with the except for I didn't use like the traditional gravy. I used a
He
wild
says it
game.
sounds like I'm mumbling. That just sounds what I always sound like. I
Welcome
have
to
a
your
very
mumble rap
low,
career.
droning voice. I
You could
sound
always
monotone because that's what I say. How dare you? I would never degrade myself by doing
start a
that
mumble
shit.
rap career.
I could literally do an
Anyway,
ASMR channel where I just talk.
true. You could. Anyway, as for the burgers in the background, they don't look very good. The burger cups, they don't look very good right now. They've just got some sesame seeds on top of them. But I guarantee you put some ketchup and mustard, some shredded cheese on top. They're not just gonna taste good. Because Bill did try one. Whenever after I cook, I'm never hungry. I ate some of this though.
What's the
So I
point
got
of
the
making food
poutine.
then?
Because then I'm hungry the next day, but it's like it's not just me. I've talked to other people who cook a lot, and it's like when you're sitting there and you're like working on it for hours and you're just smelling it and you're tasting little bits, it makes it so you're not hungry. So then I've
What?
got my corn dogs. Yes, I made homemade corn dogs, homemade onion rings, these little balls here.
If I get any loud, I'm gonna blow Aiden's ears out.
No, you're fine because I can turn you down on Discord. The ball things here, that's potato salad that I made.
Yeah, food
That then
chat already. There we go.
I deep fried the potato salad, and then these other little things in the bottom left. Those are deep fried pickles. So there's my spread. I didn't even get to the fried chicken, which I'm going to uh, the I'm using Special K for the crispy crunchy outside. In addition to the
So I
normal
don't know
flour and egg
anybody else
mixture.
who does this thing of when I cook food, I'm not hungry. Like, bitch, I cook to
Yes,
eat.
I know. I Bill. All right. Well, I just wanted to share
Aiden
why
can vote,
I'm
by the way.
late.
I know, but neither of us like voting, so we're good.
It's gonna be 300 pounds soon. Yeah, if I ate it.
She was busy being gay and homeless.
Look, I realized I may have gone too far in a few places. I was just like, oh, just make some food, and then it turned out like this.
My food features bananas and mozzarella, so I know I'm the only one that's gonna eat it.
Uh,
Yes, I put bananas on pizza. I'd be horrified.
Oh, did you not? Oh, did you not show? You didn't show my screen the whole time.
Oh, hold on.
Respoon.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Okay. So just to reiterate,
I
the
totally
things in the background
forgot.
are not pecan pies. They're little cheeseburgers essentially. And I always make like that with that shitty fake American cheese. I make such good cheese sauce with it. my cheeseburger things cups that are in smashed tater tot cups with buttermilk flour and buttermilk batter, and my poutine, my how do you call corn dogs, onion rings, deep fried potato salad, and my deep fried pickles. That's the whole spread. Now you can actually see it. Thank you, Spoon.
I was wondering why
Spoon.
everyone was quiet. No one commented on it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not the
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks.
My
Spoon.
apologies. I know this is one of the few
then
times
I'm
you will
pulling up
actually hear me apologize, despite the fact that my catchphrase is "I'm never
Thank you.
apologize."
I know. Thank you, though.
If
it's
I
not
screw
your,
up, I'll actually
kind of your fault.
admit it.
You're all right. I am gonna pull up my soundboard though, just because it's.
Oh, why? Don't be cringe.
What?
Oh, whoa.
All right, I'll be cringe. All right, that's
why are women just themselves?
Why are women? It's the eternal question. So
That
let's
actually is
start.
a good question. Andrew just asked that on the Twitter. Or he made a
Why-
post about the Taliban.
Why are women?
The demographic thing a while ago when they took over, and then there was that fucking UN woman who asked them like about the democracy and will you vote women into power, and the Taliban just laughed and said turn off the camera. I would like to know, can anyone give me a single reason, a single beneficial, functional reason of the regime, or reason of the regime rather, why women should have the right to vote? Because I can't think of a single thing that it provides.
Well,
currently.
more and more people appear to be waking up to this, and I think I've even seen more and more women wake up to it, of being like, "Wow, we really shouldn't," because we don't make good decisions on this
Yes.
kind of stuff. And it's not to say that
Disappointment is tangible. Yeah,
it's actually not even to say that like women are dumber. Women just aren't interested in politics for the most part, and
Women
they
vote
make
because
decisions.
of what they want
feelings.
other people around them to think, not
Or how they-
what is actually best for the nation, because they don't know.
Yes, or
anything
how
about
they
the
want to be
nation.
perceived.
Yes.
They want to be perceived as being caring. They want to be perceived as being fair. This is a
Yeah.
problem with women, that women are more social creatures than men are. So what concerns
We have
women
to
is
make tough
how am I
decisions that women
seen?
don't.
Well, right, but it's like most women, and myself included to a certain degree, because I am a woman, is there's an element of that. It's like,
Sorry.
well,
Bloody hell.
what will other people think of me? Now, I have less of a concern with that because I'm severely autistic.
You're also a monarchist, which means people just like you anyway.
Sure.
That is one of
yeah,
the best
but-
things about being a monarchist is once you've just cemented and you're okay with this, you will realize most people don't understand. And the ones that turn up their
want
noses at
to.
you'll just go,
Yeah.
well, you're a homosexual and you don't understand my politics. You're too
Whoops.
stupid to understand. Then you'll just adopt the elitist mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, if you decide, if you become a monarchist, I think you're kind of just already saying kind of a big fu to the
The regime.
to the regime and the politics,
And the
such as it were.
liberalism
Like we're
framework, to
so
be frank.
outside of it. It's why we get laughed at. It's because people are like, well, you're either a Democrat or a Republican, or maybe
Or
a
some authoritarian
socialist,
madman.
or a fascist, and it's like, but they have no
The world-
concept
Yeah.
of monarchism. To them, it's just a joke, and it's like, yeah, the most common and most successful system of government that has existed through the entirety of human history.
Yeah.
I mean, just by numbers is hilariously. How could you support such a system? I don't know. Just
It's kind
pure
of
mathematics.
It's kind of strange because the world sort of looks at the world from a post-World War II ideological perspective. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, that's
basically, those
whose
things
quote
did
was
not
that?
exist.
Whose
those
quote was
things
that?
did-
Is that
Which?
the quote where it's like, if you were born before a certain period, all world starts at World War II, and after a
Oh,
certain
that's
period, all world.
Professor Leiden's quote.
It is leading. Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I was
he
pretty
said,
sure,
like,
but it wasn't.
yes, if for the average person, history starts at World War II. For the student, World War One. For the genuine historian, the French Revolution.
Yes, that's the quote. Thank you.
Yes.
I knew you would know it. Thank you.
Yeah, and you sort of just look at civilization and go, in our timeline, you're either a socialist or a fascist. basically that's just like you're either far left or far right, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't even know what that means if you just
No.
look at it functionally. It's like, no, you must have an ideology of your worldview. It's like, no, I want this person to hold power, and the rest of you just do what he says. And people
Well,
think,
we're
well,
gonna
that's
look at that-
authoritarian. But if you look at the regime, I said this on Twitter a while ago. I'm probably going to get shit for this, but I don't care. I am 100% in favor of oppressing leftists and just taking power and telling them what to do. Like, I don't care about your rights. I don't want to give you liberalism, because when you get free will, you just follow power. I guarantee if I took power and I told you what the hell to do and this is what
Well,
you will believe, you will believe it.
What's that other
you
quote?
don't think. You just
When
follow
I am
power.
in power, how does it go? When I'm in power, I will do.
Herbert one, yeah.
Yeah, it's when I am in power, principles. How does that quote
When
go?
you, when
yes,
you
when
are
I,
in
when you,
power,
when, yes,
I
when
ask
I
for
am
your help
weaker than
because
you.
that is your principles, yeah. When,
Yes,
yeah.
when I'm weaker than you, I ask for your freedom because that is according to your principles.
Yeah.
When I am stronger than you, I take away your freedom because that's according to my principles.
Yes.
Yeah, in Children of Dune. And that's exactly how it works. So it's time. I think it's kind of time that we stop playing with it by their games. I think you're right. No, I mean, look, I don't like authoritarianism in any way. At the end of it, truly deep down in my heart, I'm a libertarian. But libertarianism is kind of stupid, and it doesn't really work. Now, one of the reasons I am a monarchist,
basically a form of Christian ethics.
but it could only work. It can only work under a system that protects it.
It also
in a
only works if
vacuum,
the people
libertarianism
are extremely religious.
Religious, yes, and have a strong moral system. So, from my
I don't think you
perspective,
can
as
have
again,
libertarianism without Christians.
I would agree. And so, as a libertarian, and me looking at like how do you make libertarianism work? Well, why did I come to the monarchist position? Is I think the same reason that's like other recovering libertarians, like I would say Moldbug is, came to the same conclusion: was how do you protect liberty? Well, the way to protect and Kunal Leadin, although I would not have been a libertarian, but an arch liberal as he's described himself, was how do you protect liberty? Well, the only way to actually protect liberty is you need to have this overarching system.
A strong,
it has to be
centralized figure. Yeah.
It has to be monarchy, and I think he doesn't tie himself to the religiosity of it, but I think it absolutely must be religious. I think it must be Christian.
Because
people might not like that, but I don't really care.
If you were to look at sort of what does a liberal or a leftist today find oppressive, and it's like if we have borders, if we have rule of law, if we put people in jail, the thing of it is, if you would just look at civilization objectively, and I don't give a shit who says this, okay? Europeans are the apex of civilization.
Yep.
We produce the best systems of government. We have the most moral people, and you can just look at migration and private property rates and property values to see this, okay? So I don't give a crap. I am a European supremacist. I will openly say that. Screw the rest of you. Fuck off, right? And if I look at it like that, I ask myself, what do these people want in a regime? What do they want the regime to do? And they want like strong borders, people to be protected, provide like somewhat basic services, and basically don't allow any other country that's going to fuck it up, okay? The liberals consider this authoritarian. And in my head, I'm going, that's not authoritarian. That's just what any normal, sane civilization should do. If you think the state is authoritarian for this, then by your metrics, I would welcome an authoritarian state because you suck, and I don't want you having any say in power. You should be told to shut up.
I don't want to hear anything from the left in particular about authoritarianism after what they did under COVID, after what all the stuff that they're trying to do ongoing with gender transition and stuff. It's obvious that this is all games. It's all plain politics. Politics is a fucking game. Let's get that clear, okay? And their game is just to always pretend to be oppressed, to always pretend to be the victims. That's been... It's not just me saying this. You can see it in the literature, in the academic data. It is incontrovertible that the things that bind the left are things called actually the binding moral foundations. So perceived as being caring, perceived as being concerned with fairness. That's one of the things. The other thing is, guess what? Being incredibly envious of others. We found it consistently in the data that envy is a key component of it. And along with envy also comes a lot of anger and rage and a warped, backwards moral system. Actually, I was just listening to Dr. Dutton's most recent video, and he mentioned the weights it all analysis from 2018, which, of course, the weights it all analysis I've brought up multiple times, is that leftists have reversed moral concerns. They're more concerned with rocks in outer space than they are with their own families. Everything about it is backwards. It's built backwards. And it is all about, I want to be seen by other people this way. It is a feminine mindset. I've talked about it many times. It's pure feminine mindset of, I want people to see me as a good person, but I don't really give a shit. And in fact, I have a bunch of issues sociologically with people around me. I don't fit in. I've got problems. And that's why I'm upset. I want things to be given to me because I've got my own issues. And rather than work on them and improve myself, I demand it from the government. This is just like a teenage girl being like, Daddy, take care of me. Forever. And that's the point. That's how they see the government. Well, yes. Because these are, it's either women or it's men with a feminine mentality that want the government to take care, that want the government to take care of them. And allow them to also oppress people who disagree with them. It's pure teenage girl shit. This is why democracy doesn't work. Because you know what? If anyone's ever done a high school level election, like a high school, student council thing,
popular shit.
It's whoever's the prettiest, who's ever the most popular. It has nothing to do with what what kind of what do you have to stand on for high school student council? Now, curiously, we have no idea what the Kamala Harris campaign stands for, because they have not yet listed out what their campaign goals are.
I have noticed that is basically their entire thing is running on inertia and trying to keep her basically out of the limelight. She's basically running a sort of de facto version of the Biden basement strategy.
Yeah, in her own way. Just like, throw out weird social media shit, the brat thing.
Debate Trump, so Trump can, oh my God. Just like the idea of her debating Trump gives me an erection. Shit out of her.
Waltz says he wants to debate J.D. Vance, and Kamala clapped for that. But you can see, like, in her face, we'll get to it. We'll get to it, because Kamala clapped for it, but I think she was kind of like, no, we're not debating them. No, we're not debating anybody. No, we're not debating. We're not doing that. Not in this campaign. That's not how we're doing it. However, we'll get into the Kamala stuff.
Just go out and just blast the crap out of her constantly.
Yeah. Before we do, let me hit these first couple of chats here, guys, and then we'll move into the actual news, which I think that we'll start with the stuff that's been happening. On the side of the pond that Spoon and I both live in, we touched on it very briefly last week because I really didn't want to talk about the actual impetus behind it, which is that there's 3 little girls who are dead. And I think it has awoken the Anglo spirit. I know that all of us are saying the same thing, which is don't go out and participate in these demonstrations. One, because they're honeypots. Okay, that's been already proven pretty clearly, and I've got some questions for some people that I'll bring up later. They are honeypots to try and arrest you, to get you in trouble. If you live in the UK, don't go to these things. However,
I've heard an interesting conspiracy theory.
Ooh, do tell.
The reason why the police will not touch them is because they're actually secretly UN security forces.
Who is?
The people doing the attacking.
Well, they've arrested and they've already actually sentenced some people for this, over these riots, protests, whatever you want to call them. The far-right uprising in England, as they're calling it.
Yeah, Kevin.
In the West Midlands.
Kevin, that recording that he did, I was on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I this was like in the morning, like.
When were you on 20 episode of recently?
Yeah, he was up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and I was on his. He did like a Twitter space, and I was on there, and I went fucking off.
Yeah, Spoon and Tommy go back.
Yeah, we've known each other for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So if I go on a show, then he knows me. He's one of the few people that's actually seen what I look like.
Woo! Well, me too, but
yeah. So
even though we still haven't met in real life, Spoon. We got to do that at some point. Next time I'm in England proper, you should come hang out. Because I'm gonna be back in. Actually, we're gonna talk about the stuff in Manchester. But next time I'm up, because I want to go back to Manchester. I had a really good time. Yeah. I had a really good time. I didn't have. I've been to Birmingham twice, and both times it's like
you might want to do that sometime this year.
Well, I'm planning to this fall. Yeah.
No, meeting me because there's a good chance I might not be in Ireland for much longer.
Are you going back, you think, to South Africa?
Well, my parents kind of want me to go with. I'm like, I don't really want to, but I don't really have any other family here, so.
I mean, it's up to you,
Yeah.
right? I didn't. Well, this is news to me, man. I guess news to
sorry
the
to drop
audience.
that
But
on the chat here. So if I'm missing for a month, you guys know why.
well, let's hope everything's all right. I didn't know that either, Spoon. That's news to me.
Yeah, it was pitched to me as a suggestion. It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I said to my mother, to give me some time to think about it.
Well, I mean, we can
Because,
always run the show with you in South Africa. That's fine. I mean, in terms of the show, that's fine.
Yeah, because basically where my parents want to buy a house is connected to, I think the place that they want to buy, my aunt actually owns, because my aunt's side of the family is actually fairly wealthy, and so they have property near a beach, and they basically just said, come live here. There's a guest house next door. You can live there. I'm like, okay.
Dude, you can pick up babes on the beach.
Okay, no. This is like a place for retirement people.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
you can pick up some older babes.
I
You
mean,
know,
this-
like some,
it's
not
quite
spring
a-
chickens, but sort of
It's quite a posh place, but it's
know,
like walking distance
autumn
from the beach.
winter
and it's-
chickens.
Yeah. It's actually a nice place, and I said, okay, well, at least let me think about it and see where we go from there. And I asked, the first thing I asked is, what is the internet speed? Because if I'm going there, I could probably get it. I
Look,
think they have like
if Elon Musk has got
no,
what's it called?
they have
Starlink
fiber.
set up anywhere.
They have fiber there. They have like a 100 meg line. I mean, I've got 500 here, and I'd use 50 meg upload for the thing. But when the internet was fucked up for a bit, I used the USB that was 50 meg line. I couldn't tell the difference between 50 and 500.
Chat just
really.
said who. Well, then we'll have to. Okay, so I'm gonna probably be back in the fall. Hang out with some other people in the UK.
It's a very like isolated place, so it's not like a place that has massive holiday crime. I was like, I'm gonna be in danger.
No,
really, you know?
we got to work this out then, Spoon.
Yeah.
Because the ferry from Ireland to Manchester is like nothing. I can pay for that, or you can get it. It doesn't matter. We'll work it all out, and then because I'm gonna be up there with Scrump and other people. We haven't found a date or anything for it yet. Then you can meet Scrump and I'll see if I can bring up Oozaloo, everybody's best friend.
Yes,
I don't know about that yet. Ask Harry and some other people. You know.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll see where that goes.
AA, etc.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should meet Harry and AA and Scrump and all those.
I don't know
those
when
people.
that's going to when that's gonna happen. If it's gonna be sometime this year, maybe by Christmas. I don't know yet. But if I tell people I'm gone for like 4 weeks, it's because everything's being shipped in a giant, you know, container ship to so
halfway across the planet. Yeah.
And then I have to. Oh god, I have to start speaking Afrikaans. So if my accent becomes really weird sounding,
It becomes worse.
yeah, and you're like, Spoon, what the hell? Why is your accent all weird? It's because I'm surrounded by South Africans who actually speak normal, and my accent's gonna sound all weird. So,
well, like I said, when you get drunk, you sound more Irish, which is funny. Let me.
Now.
Yeah, maybe not. Let me read these super chats, and then we'll move on to the news, shall we? I didn't know about that. That's news to me, though.
Sorry,
J Coda 345. No. I mean, again, nothing's gonna change with the show. I mean, some things might change, but you know.
Yeah,
we
it's
got
gonna be
it.
till 2 o'clock in the morning instead of 1.
All right. J Coda 345. He's been a member for a year. Thank you. Says cheers for 1 year. Cheers, mate. Aramaic Discourse for $20. Thank you. Says some funds to support the efforts of our last true heir of Shaka Zulu Spoon. Yeah, it looks like he's going back home, maybe. So perhaps, yeah. DRT's King for 20 says women are more likely to vote for war historically. Yes, they are. That is demonstrable. They're more willing to throw men at the problems of the regime. Yep. In America, the franchise was given to women in Wyoming, as they were mostly business owners who sold other women. Absolutely, DRT. Thank you for spitting facts. Minnesota Fats, who's been a member for 19 months, says, Boss, on behalf of conscious-minded Minnesotans like myself, Tim Waltz is an imbecile whose star is aging like a crystal. Oh, yeah, well, we'll get into that after we cover the UK stuff, because dude, he's a
lunatic.
It's like okay, I'm not a big fan of Bernie Sanders because he's a commie, right? But Bernie Sanders has likable aspects. This is like, this dude, this Tim Waltz guy, is like if you took all of the likable aspects of Bernie Sanders and just siphoned them out of his
Do you know what he looks
corpus.
like? He looks like if you took Bernie and you spliced him with Richard Wolff.
It looks like you took Bernie and spiced him with John McCain.
Oh God, yeah, that's actually more accurate. But
And John McCain had some stuff to say in this, didn't he? Didn't John or not John McCain?
Obama ran.
No. Who was it? Who came out and had some shit? Was it Romney? Must have been. Obviously, it wasn't McCain.
You just said come out with shit. What does that mean?
Someone was some Republican was big upping this Tim Waltz guy. I think I don't have it.
Oh God.
It must have been Romney. Obviously,
Can't be McCain's dead.
He obviously he's dead. Like I know, but like, well, I mean, maybe he did a séance, but I was just saying, like, I know it wasn't McCain.
Bojack.
It
Yeah,
must
he
have been
actually
Romney. It must have been Romney then. Some big Republican came out and was like, I like this guy, sort of. I don't know. We'll get into that though. Because I've got a bunch of other stuff on Tim Waltz. Which is it Waltz? Waltz? Is that the right way of pronouncing it? Waltz, I think.
Tampon Tim has basically been, yeah.
Oh, Tampon Tim is kind of lazy. I don't really. I mean,
I like it. It's funny.
I like just the quick and dirty of it is that he put tampons in boys' restrooms in Minnesota. And they're like, that's so weird. It's so, they keep using it. They haven't abandoned the weird thing. I thought it's been a week. They're still on about it. Was it Lindsey Graham? I'm sure it was Lindsey Graham, actually.
There was a phrase that someone said. It was like a waltz in the whitelist. Which I thought was pretty funny. Like, that's a pretty good phrase.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that neither. Yeah, the Tampon Temple, not Tampon Temple, Tampon Tim Waltz. Which apparently they're also like, wow, so weird. So weird for you to care about him putting tampons in a boy's bathroom. It's like, no, it's weird that you put tampons in the boy's bathroom. That part's weird. Yeah.
Apparently the whole their weird thing on J.D. Vance and Trump, apparently he was the mastermind behind that.
Yes, he was. That's actually what we learned as a part of this, is that this Tim Waltz guy is the one who apparently, he's taking credit for it.
Tampons in boys' bathrooms is calling other people weird.
But here's the other thing too, is that this is in opposition to what we read last week. Because last week we saw that they had hired, and they paid $70 million for it. They'd hired a firm to conduct this research on the polity to find out what worked. And they said this weird thing worked really well. So I suppose if we're going with that, is that Tim Waltz came up with the weird slogan, and then they spent $70 million researching it, and we're like, oh, okay, this is the best thing we've got. So I guess that's why this dude is Kamala Harris's running mate, is because he came up with the weird thing, and it's working so well when the projective statistics. Maybe, I know the Dems call themselves the party of science, but they're not. I mean, obviously that part's true.
Yeah,
but I do think maybe some of them,
maybe.
Right, I think some of them do kind of like, they will just listen to anyone who has a PhD and say, oh, you have a PhD? And like, yeah. And I totally did research on this. Trust me. Look, here's a chi-squared. You know what that is? Chi-squared doesn't mean fucking anything. But like, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, look, chi-squared. That's a word you don't understand.
That's a phrase
exactly. That's a phrase you don't understand. So I'm smarter than you. You should listen to everything I have to say. Pay me $70 million. Yeah, I should get paid $70 million to study this shit. For fuck's sake. But
you and I could run a better campaign for the Democrats than these people.
Well, it wouldn't be hard.
It's not hard, by the way.
Jizuke Taizago, who's been a member for a year, also, thank you, Jizuke. Says,
Ralph is still running the kill stream? I just saw that on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, he still is, yeah.
Oh, my God. I kind of want to troll him.
He got in some... Don't touch the shit there. No, he had a thing because he was too drunk to get on a plane in Mexico.
If he antagonizes me, Jim will have a go at him.
But Jim's always gonna have a go at him. But no, he was too drunk to get on a plane. He only has like 2 hours a month or something that he can go see his son. And he was so drunk he couldn't even get on the plane at the right time, and so he missed the plane. No, he was drunk. He was drunk out of his mind, and so he missed.
How is somebody
he only got
that
like
fat
30 minutes.
able to hold their alcohol?
Because he drinks so much, and I'm saying this as an alcoholic myself. I don't know how he drinks that much, that weight. How do you get drunk? I don't know. You're gonna be totally fucked, man.
Bastard, yeah.
DRT's King for another 5 says the women of Wyoming were very business focused and actually brought civilization to Wyoming. So in that frontier, you can argue they earned it. Sure. And I suppose in that way also they couldn't
Kamala
have anticipated
on Twitch?
how insane things would get.
Really?
Of course, I'm sure she is. Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, that's quality. By the way, I'm doing a video on sticks tomorrow.
Interesting.
It's one of the few times I disagree with sticks.
Oh yeah,
So it's
yeah.
really,
I know the
really
bit you're talking
rare.
about. I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about though.
It's like,
Tucker
sticks,
O'Donnell.
this is where your libertarianism goes the wrong way.
It often happens. Tucker O'Donnell for 5 says, if Waltz debates Vance, Waltz will get hit for stolen valor a week on law enforcement. See how his state handled BLM. We'll get into all of that. The stolen valor, the BLM, all of that. Grulgar is a new member. Thank you. Thank you for joining Night tier. Thank you, Grulgar. And welcome. Mr. Twisted Frenzy for €5 says, since we're on the subject, have you seen Callum's new video on his tour to Zimbabwe? I have. I thought it was excellent. It was very interesting. I did send it to Spoon because he does talk about South Africa, and he does go to South Africa. I think, or did he actually? Now I can't remember. I think he went to South Africa like very briefly in his tour there.
Miles went to South Africa.
No, Callum did too. He
okay.
went to South Africa, and that's why I sent it to you because he also did go to South Africa. Cole Summers for 5 says she called the favor of getting the 2020 rioters out of prison. Yes, she did. Kamala was the one that did that freedom fund for the BLM rioters in Minnesota. Yes, she did.
Jake, I know what you're saying, and you are just trying to get a reaction out of me, and I will not take the bait. Because the alcohol told me not to.
Ardent Party, Aiden, at some point in the alcoholism, you don't get drunk anymore, you stay drunk. I mean, I've been there, man, but like, yeah, Ethan Ralph, Ethan Ralph claims he's not drunk, just like Ricada claims he's not drunk. I don't want to think about the, well, no, I'm not yet, but we can get there, lad.
I've had a sizable chunk of whiskey. Do I sound like I'm drinking?
No.
Exactly, because I know how to handle my alcohol.
Well, that's the thing, is that you gotta, dude, like Ricada too. Oh, that stuff's so sad.
I know how to pace myself like an absolute champion.
Oh,
Lance for 2 says, because I'm not built like a fat ass.
Yeah, Lance for 2 says Rachel Ziegler. Rachel Ziegler holds the trademark for weird. Yeah, I should. I mean, weird. Yeah, I could have brought it up, but let's move into the topics at hand. Thank you all so much for your support.
Supposed to come out this year? Or was that entire project shafted?
No, she was in Captain Marvel. Like that was her whole. And then Snow White.
No,
the Snow White movie hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Not Captain Marvel. What am I thinking? I'm getting her confused with some other vapid bent. Anyway, oh no, the woman the young black girl in Captain Marvel was actually pretty cool. She was chill about it. I felt bad for her. I'm sorry for getting them too confused. They're not all the same. It's just sorry.
Black women are not going to be main figures in movies. Like most people just don't want to see black women. That's just a fact. Sorry.
People want to see J-Lo. There are black women that people want to see. Just pick hot ones.
J-Lo is freaking Dominican.
But you know what I mean? There's brown black women that people want to see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There certainly are.
And black are not the same thing.
Well, Kamala Harris being half Jamaican, right? She's black though, according to. Well, she's black when it's convenient, and then she's Indian when it's convenient. She's Schrodinger's race. Anyway, so let's move into the. Let us move into the trials, the upheaval, the severe social unrest that's happening in the UK.
The only woman that's like that dark that I can actually find attractive was the chick who played Link's wife in the second Matrix movie.
Oh yeah, Halle Berry.
Yeah, she was pretty. No,
I mean, I'm saying someone just David Ho said Halle Berry. I'm saying like there's people can get behind.
Like 45% European.
But I'm saying people can get behind a little bit of brown sugar.
Everyone gets more attractive by mixing with European.
Well, yeah.
It's just fact.
I mean, look at Eurasians in terms of like half Asian, half European, or Blasians. You know, like even that. Like I'm saying that like when you have like Black, Asian, and European DNA, you just get really pretty people.
I think one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen was a Saudi mixed with Thai.
Yeah, I can imagine that being nice. Saudi and Thai.
Thicker thighs and unusually nice tits. It was kind of weird. Unusually, I just looked at her and were like, you're so pretty, it's making my IQ drop. That's like,
let's stop talking about
magical powers.
Let's stop talking about attractive women and start talking about unattractive women, namely Jess Phillips.
Why?
Now I know
This
that
is not a
Sargon.
crowd pleaser, Aiden.
I know that Sargon has
What the
apologized
hell
to
am I
Jess
listening
Phillips,
to?
which he should not have done.
That was one
Carl,
of the stupidest things you've ever done, Sargon. You never apologize, and especially
never,
not to women.
I have data on this. I made a video about it. Like, there's actual, again, sociological data that shows that apologies, if you are apologizing to a friend or family member, if you're, again, it's fine. If you are making a sincere apology to a friend or a family member, that's a good thing. That's expected. Don't apologize to political rivals. That's, yes, as you said,
That's
it's
retarded.
weakness. It's a sign of weakness. Don't apologize to these people. So, we'll watch this clip here in a second, but Starmer and Labour no doubt think these pro-Gaza mass folk are far-right too. This is Richard Tice, of course, posted this, but I mean, fuck him. But we'll watch this Sky News clip here in a moment. But Jess Phillips responds by saying, these people came to this location because it has been spread that racists were coming to attack them.
Okay, hold
this
on
is
a second.
misinformation.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me get this straight. You think these people came there because racists were going to attack them?
So that's very interesting. So you think, you think racists are going to be there to attack you. So that's why you came here on motorbikes.
That makes no fucking sense.
Of course not, because Jess Phillips is a lunatic.
This is the person you apologize to, Sargon. You absolute moron.
This misinformation was spread entirely to create this content. Don't spread it, Mr. Tice.
Shut up.
Now, but she deleted this tweet.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because
here's
the fuck why. We're gonna watch the actual clip of what happened. So we talked about it last week, but just for those who are not aware of UK politics, and I realize that I need to be clear about this because I've lived here so long that like I'll talk to like my mom or dad and they'll be like, "What?" and they have no idea. So sorry. For those who are not aware, a little over a week ago, 3 young girls were at I think a Taylor Swift dance class.
Yes, and they were killed by a Rwandan immigrant.
He
was born in Wales soil. He is not
he was
European.
born in Wales from 2 Rwandan immigrants, but he is
from
clearly
a low IQ shit gene pool.
Doesn't matter even that.
No,
he is not. But he is not British.
Yeah, that's my point. He comes from low IQ, inferior shit genes.
It's not just the genes. Is that he has never had to acclimate whatsoever. Yes, it's not just. Don't get me confused on this. It is not just. Yes, he has a proclivity probably because of his Rwandan background. And again, I've known people from Rwanda who aren't stupid.
Have never made
I've known people from Africa who are not stupid.
Yeah, so do I.
But yes, of course. But this guy is some like look Jesus. Yes,
one of the smartest people I know is very black dude named Freddy. Freddy speaks like 4 languages.
Yeah.
African
you and I, we whenever,
cool
we always talk about this. I mean, it's not worth fucking litigating because it's pointless here. Who cares about this racial stuff? The reality is that in terms of, that you and I like Clarence Thomas or we like Thomas Sowell, who gives a shit? It doesn't really matter. The reality is that this person was a sub-Saharan African from Rwanda, born in Wales but not Welsh, who for apparently 17 years old decided to show up at this Taylor Swift girls dance class and slaughtered 3 young British girls in cold blood for no reason other than the fact that they are British. That was, as far as we know, that was his only reason. I mean, he's in custody. And by the way, I'll put this out again later, but he's not going to go to court until January of 2025. I'd like you to also point out, as I will get to again later, that several of the people who have rioted or been involved in the so-called riots, I mean, and they did set fire to a hotel or try to set fire to a hotel. The hotel did not burn down, but they did set fire to a hotel. Those people have already been charged and are going to jail now. So the people who responded enraged by the actions of this man killing 3 little girls. Yes, and injuring 8 more. Thank you. Kevin. He's not going to go to trial till January. Meanwhile, they're already charging and trying and sentencing the people who have demonstrated against it. Now, again, I cannot stand behind trying to set a hotel on fire and stuff like that. You know, damaging property or whatever, burning shit down. But I can understand it. I can't justify it. I can't say I approve of that behavior.
That I can't share on this platform.
I'm sure you do. What I will say is that I do not approve of people engaging in violence in response to violence.
That I
but
I'm not
I don't
say what
approve
I'm
of that.
thinking, but you can probably guess what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't approve of them. I do denounce that, and I
hatred.
strongly suggest nobody go to these things. Nobody goes to these events because clearly they are honeypots on some level. But I can
This is gonna
understand
get really, really
the
ugly.
rage. I can understand the outrage, the absolute abject disgust at a bunch of at 3 little girls being slaughtered for just being white in England. Or Britain, but you know, I mean, whatever you want to call it. What the fuck? It's unbelievable. It's truly...
You have to understand something about we are a significantly better civilization, and just being near something so much better than them makes them upset. Like from a psychological perspective, they will just enact rage because they will never be as good as us. It's like seeing the warp drive in Star Trek. Like once you see that and you know that your civilization will never, ever, ever be this good, so they'll just burn it in like a state of anger.
That's very funny. It's very funny you actually said Star Trek. Do you know why? Do you actually know one of the reasons for the Prime Directive?
That they don't bring people into unless they discover like that particular piece of technology.
Right. Until you discover warp technology.
Yes, you're not brought into the thing.
When you can't even know other civilizations,
that was probably
civilizations exist.
the worst thing that the colonials did, was to try to civilize the people instead of just killing them, which would have been a more humane thing. I know that sounds really fucked up to say, but the idea behind Christendom is that you can save these people through Christ. I'm like, no, you actually can't do that, because to be a Christian, to understand the morals of Christianity, is a piece of civilizational development, and you can't just bestow this upon people as if they're pieces of wood that you can just.
But that's the exact point. In Star Trek, that's the exact point of the Prime Directive: is no, you can't just bestow it upon people. They have to find it out for themselves. They cannot be given it. And actually, you know, you and I are both big fans of Mass Effect, and Mass Effect takes a lot from Star Trek. But why are the Krogans so fucked up? What's because the Solarians basically tried to civilize them, and then it didn't work. They gave them a bunch of technology that that society was not prepared to handle, and then they ended up nuking each other to death. Just talking about sci-fi examples, but exactly, it's that exact thing in
they
Star
basically
Trek
treat
as
it like magic.
Yeah, right. Well, that's an Alexander Asimov quote, which is that, or not Alexander, Isaac Asimov, excuse me, Isaac Asimov quote, which is that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So it's magic to them. No, I mean, I think Asimov is correct on that. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Certainly, that seems to be that way to me. Hang on, once I got to.
Yeah, if the civilization didn't invent it, it won't build on it. Yeah, this is why I don't think I have a very strong opinion on this. I do not want anyone that isn't European to have any political power in any civilization that was made by Europeans. I honestly do not give a shit about your race. Fuck off. Europeans and only Europeans should rule the Western world. And I don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, Arden, I got it. I know
I don't
Alexander Asimov. I fixed it. Isaac. I was getting. I think I was getting like Arthur C. Clarke. Is it Arthur C. Clarke and not Isaac Asimov? Was it Arthur C. Clarke? Was it Arthur C. Clarke? Excuse me. I got my classic sci-fi authors confused. My bad. Thank you, Arden. That was Arthur C. Clarke. It was not Asimov. My bad. My bad.
Let's promise the drunk wine moron.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the. Well, I mean, she's not. Is she drunk? There's some clips where she sure sounds. Kamala. There's some clips where she sure sounds like something's wrong.
Did you see that clip where Michael Malice called her retarded?
I saw Michael Malice's. Yeah, I think I've got it in here. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Let's watch this though, because this is on Sky News, and these are the people that. Now remember, everybody on the left of the UK, including Keir Starmer, who we're going to get to, which is hashtag 2-tier cure. If you guys have not participated or seen this hashtag, it's been a wild ride because
I'll be amazed
it's not
if you
it's
last
not
the
just
end
it's
of
not
the
just
year.
it's not just a meme. It's not just questioning at this point about or
But Spoon
a
sounds like
conjecture.
anti-Semitism. Why am I getting compliments?
It's not just conjecture at this point that there is a two-tier policing system in the UK. They've admitted to it. They through the course of all of this.
Hold on a second, I want to point something out. Kevin, speaking of anti-Semitism, if you go to my Twitter account, click on my profile picture and look very closely, who is reflecting on my character's monocle? You will know.
Anywho, so how long has it been since Keir Starmer has been Prime Minister? Spoon?
Like, not even a month?
Not even a month, right? So
Has it been that long?
I think it's been about a month. Yeah. And I think his entire
He's not going
mandate
to last the end of the year.
is dead. No, it's dead. He can't come back from this. You know, this has been so abysmal, and his response has been,
Oh, really? I only added the reflection a couple of days ago, so that's why you didn't notice
okay.
it.
The response has been disgusting, which is that actually it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
men out in the streets. It's not the men out in the streets with machetes. It's not the guy who murdered 3 young girls. It's not the people,
Secret Spoon,
the
lol.
rape gangs. Spoon,
Sorry, what?
are you paying attention to the
No, I'm
news
not.
right now?
I'm paying attention to the chat that thinks I'm secretly a big fan of Hadrian.
Well, he might be a big fan of Hadrian. You know what would make anyone a big fan of Hadrian and his wall is this shit. Watch this. Watch
12
this.
legions.
Have you seen this clip, Spoon?
I have, yes.
Let's watch it.
Have been speaking to the police as well because
Free Palestine!
Yo, free Palestine! He just rolls up on his little fucking bike.
Free Palestine! Fuck easier, mate!
but I think apologies for the language you're hearing.
Look
but
at all of these hooligans, whatever you want to call them. All these lads with the fucking balaclavas on in black clothing. They're walking up. This woman is on Sky News. I mean, she's lucky she survived. I think somebody did get attacked in this, I believe.
a sense of the anger, I think you can hear
Katie,
there.
yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to leave you there. And
Oh, you need to leave her there.
Becky,
That sounds really
we'll have
ominous.
Yeah, to get what assaulted?
security there, and
I wonder what
we
happens
will
to her.
leave that. And I apologise once again for the language there.
Yeah, apologies for the language. Just apologize for the freaking language. The reality is that I do think that they were harassed by these people. So, I mean, and in this case, really, it's like you should be glad that you didn't get fucking murdered. That's what they're out doing. Here's the thing too, is that so here they are. They're going to explain these Muslims are going to explain. They're going to express themselves and their grievances.
What the hell are you
also-
talking about? We don't attack your women.
I wanna
We can't even see their
fucking Make
faces.
this very clear, by the way. The vast majority of these people have been welcomed into the UK, and just given everything. They're given a place to stay. They're given often
Yeah,
a
but
place
the
to work.
state,
They
not
don't have to
people.
work. They're just given money by the state. They claim to be asylum seekers. It doesn't matter if they're from countries that aren't in any kind of war or turmoil. That's never been actually the case. They've continually taken people from countries that are not in any kind of conflict. They put them up in the hotel that was it was a not a Hilton, it was a Holiday Inn in Southport, I believe. Was it in Southport or was it somewhere else? It was somewhere in the West Midlands. And there was a Holiday Inn that they allegedly tried to burn down that was full of migrants. Well, why the hell is the Holiday Inn full of migrants? Because the United Kingdom government pays for migrants to stay in hotels for years. And then that includes I assume, all of the amenities that come with staying in a hotel. So I guess they get room service every day. They probably get food brought up to them, I suppose. And they're just living in these. Now, I stayed in a Holiday Inn in my last trip to the UK. And I can tell you, it was about, I don't know. And they're putting these people up there for years? Was it just for a month? Like, because again, it's a hotel, right? So hotels are way more expensive than normal accommodations. So let's go with the lower number and say it's 70 quid a night for a month. Is 21,000, excuse me, 2,100 pound a month just for accommodations, right? Just for accommodations. And they put those people up there for years? I mean, is it 2,100 times 12 for a year? Is 25,000 pound. Right? That seems kind of insane to me. 25,000 pound a year to put people up in hotels. Absolutely insane. And I mean, like, I'm not justifying the people who tried to burn down the hotel. I'm saying, why the hell is it that, and we're going to look at, I actually didn't have this clip, but I will go find it, there is this, these two guys these two Irish guys. Did you see this clip, Spoon? Did you? You know what I'm talking about? They're in, and they're talking about it to each other and just saying, like, oh, the one guy's like, oh, did you see the other guy got his shop burnt down? And I probably won't be able to find it now. But the other guy's just like, well, we don't have anything. I mean, and what we do have, we pay for. These people don't pay for anything. They live here completely off of our dole. They live completely off of the state, taxpayer, off of the state, and they don't pay anything into it. And then they go and fucking murder people. They go and burn. They actually are burning shit down, and it's like, oh well, it's a problem for burning stuff down in terms of attempting to burn down this Holiday Inn, and I agree that that's a problem. But like, that's incorrect. It's not something you should be doing. But it's a clear double standard. This is the two-tier policing of, and again, I wish I had the video, but this guy being like, oh, don't you feel bad? He's got his shop burned down. And it's like, well, yeah, I guess, but they've been doing that for years to British people. And British people don't have, and these guys are Irish, but like people in the United Kingdom, they don't have all of they don't get, they have to pay for their shop. They have to pay for for everything. They have to pay for that guy to live too. So it's kind of, I think that's why people are like, I'm done. I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of pretending that I'm not tired of it. I gotta pay for these people to live here. I gotta pay for them to come over here. I gotta pay for all of their stuff. And then if something bad happens to me, I have no support. Yeah. This is why the things that are happening in Britain are happening. Because people are just fed up. And justifiably so. Because you have an entire populace of people who do nothing but just consume and take and eat off of the British taxpayer. And they also hate you and want to kill you. Here you go. Here's this guy.
Our fathers have come from a different country to here. We were born here. We are British, Pakistanis, we are Muslims.
We are British Pakistanis.
You're
So he
British.
says it within one, he can't even go a full fucking sentence. He's not British. He says, we're British Pakistanis. So you're not British, are you? And that's always what they do. It's like, they always just like, well, no, I'm British when it's fucking convenient. And then I'm a Pakistani or I'm whatever the hell else it is. The second that I want to display how I'm not one of you. And they do not integrate. They don't want to be part of you. They do not consider themselves to be British unless it gets them something. They only are British as long as it gets them something. Let's be clear about that.
We will stand here. We will fight against EDL. We will fight our...
Oh, this is this EDL thing, which is that, like, has not existed in 10 years. So they brought up this...
League?
Yes, the English Defence League, which they keep bringing up constantly.
2014.
They disbanded in 2014, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
So they have not existed in 10 years. But for whatever
so you're slow
reason...
when you live in the past. You definitely
No.
are Pakistani, right?
It's not that, Spoon. It's that they've been giving marching orders. They've been given marching orders and say, oh, use the EDL. Say EDL. You know, oh, the European, or the English Defence League. Oh, no. What are we going to do? Oh, they're out there somewhere in the shadows. Right? This is something that they did with alt-right. The Phantom EDL is going to come out to get you. That hasn't been around for 10 goddamn years. Because, and the reason why they're all saying, talking about the EDL, is because they've been giving marching orders. Here's your talking points. Repeat them. And it's insane. The left is always like this. No matter who they are, whether they're useful idiots like these people or whether they're true believers. Say the words, say the line, Bart.
Ground. Our innocent Muslim sisters are getting acid attacked. Must again breaking.
When the hell has a native civilized English person ever thrown acid at a Muslim woman ever?
It was a hoax that was made up about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Hope Not Hate made it up.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, right. Andy Knows got it here. Hope Not Hate made it up. Nick Lowles
I hope
made it up.
them for making bullshit up.
Nick Lowles made up that Muslims were the ones being acid attacked. And look, here it is, being repeated by this idiot.
But everyone should be here. Fuck the EDL.
They don't exist,
They don't
idiot.
exist.
You are a useful idiot. So, another thing that happened is as a result of a bunch of this, and it's been going on now. It's been in Manchester, Birmingham, all over the northwest. Stokes. I mean, I heard like people just some of the worst shit I've heard is coming out of Stoke. People just walking around with machetes all over the streets and stuff, setting shit on fire. So this was a thing. I was just in the Manchester airport a couple weeks ago. I was not in this terminal. I was in Terminal 1, I think. But New Manchester airport video shows police being punched moments before man was kicked by cop. Now, when this was originally reported, it was just cop beats Muslim at the airport for no reason. But then what came out was that shocking clip shows a man thumping an officer repeatedly as he slumps back into a chair and another hitting a female cop in the face in a brutal attack. Now, I'm not going to show the video, even though showing the photos is potentially dangerous. But here's the thing. Okay, at the beginning of the video, a group of people can be seen milling around a ticket machine in Terminal 2 as 3 cops, including 2 women and a man, head towards them. One of the officers goes to grab the hands of the man who is facing the ticket machine to restrain him in a video obtained by MEN. It appears that Mohammed Fahir, 19, the same man whose head is stamped on by the male police officer in the original clip. I guess what we saw first is that, his head's being stamped on. As he resists, the 3 officers try to gain control of the situation, which is when a second man gets involved and lunges at the male cop. This man, in a gray t-shirt, can be seen hitting the male cop in the face a whopping 6 times before he tasers him and is able to back away. Around the same time, the man who appears to be Fahir seems to hit the female officer in the face repeatedly until she falls to the ground. Chaos erupts in the airport terminal as the 3 officers struggle to fend off the group from all sides. In the original video, which sparked major uproar, mass protests in Manchester, showed the male cop stamping on Fahir's head as he lies on the floor. Wow, isn't it interesting that you need fucking context? That this dude and some other dude attacked the cops. Attacked the police. They were trying to arrest him and they attacked the police and then they got what they fucking deserved. But you're not hearing about this, are you? This has now sparked massive protests in Manchester. Because, whoa, wow, look at the police violence. Well, they fucking started it. They goddamn started it. And I mean, like, this is ridiculous. If you attack a police officer, you beat a policewoman in the face until she's bloodied, and you don't expect to get any kind of retribution for that? Now, I'm not saying, I mean, like, the police have some, duty obviously to not, like, kill people, no shit, not overly hurt people, but let's be clear. You started this shit. You started beating the cops. I mean, what do you expect? But no, but this is the thing. Always, the Muslims, poor immigrants, they can't know any better. Oh, and now they're saying that, I'm not even joking, listen to this, that the footage of them, of the Muslims starting the actual confrontation. Yes, they were being approached by the police, but of them starting the violence, they are now claiming, the family is claiming, is a smear on them. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Good morning. My name is Amar Anwar. I'm instructed as the lawyer with a team of lawyers to make this statement on behalf of the family of Fahir Amaz, who is sat on my left, Mohammed Ahmad.
Hiring a Scottish Muslim lawyer, though. Bro. All right.
who sat on my right.
Huh?
They exist?
I mean, apparently, like, oh, I did tell you, I went to the fucking doctor's last week because I was so sick. So I went to the doctor, and his name was like Raj Patel. I don't know. I don't know, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should have never seen this doctor before because it's at like the kind of what kind of clinic? Which is like the walk-in clinic, and because I just had a cold and I was like, trying to get seen, and he had like the super thick Scottish accent.
And
His
it's like
name's
threw
like
for a
Raj
loop.
Patel. It did a bit because yeah, like I was like I just expected him to have a at most an English accent, or you know like that English Indian accent that you hear a lot. But then he was just like, oh, like holy shit, okay. Wasn't expecting that, but yeah, this guy's also got one. It's not as strong as the doctor as
I like
Raj
someone in the
Patel.
chat
I
just said
thought it
Spoon can't win enough. One commentator complains he's talking over and now he's not talking enough. I can't satisfy. Look, when Aiden has a topic that she is interested in, I just let the woman talk and ramble.
I know. Well, this is. I mean, you're not interested in this. This is a huge deal. All this stuff.
It makes me want to do manly things that
Do manly things. Lift a big rock.
Okay. Yes, and then do. Yeah. You ever heard the phrase?
Don't throw the rock anywhere, Spoon. You just lift it up. You pick up the big rock. Right.
You know the phrase "ultima ratio regum"?
What?
It was written on King Louis' cannons.
Oh no! What does it mean?
The last argument of kings.
Based.
Yes, it's basically when words no longer will do, the cannons will roll.
Let's go. Anyway, here's this Scottish. I'm guessing some sort of Arab lawyer trying to make an excuse for this.
And their mother, Shamim Akhtar, who is on my immediate right, and their family in respect of the incident at Manchester Airport on Tuesday, the 23rd of July 2024. This incident has given rise to active criminal and disciplinary investigations by Greater Manchester Police and the IOPC. The overlap between these proceedings increases any risk of prejudice if information or material is inappropriately disclosed in the investigations or to the public. The family have been placed in a difficult position as they had hoped that the IOPC would be allowed to do its job without interference. Sadly, it has been clear over the last 2 weeks that there has been a deliberate attempt to smear the family and portray incomplete version of events and thus potentially prejudice proceedings.
So just being honest about the fact that the police approached somebody at this airport and he beat the shit out of them. Again, it's so weird to me. This whole thing has been very surreal, I suppose. Is that I was at the Manchester airport 2 weeks ago. Not at this terminal, but it's like I recognize it. I was at the Manchester airport just a couple weeks ago, and then I was in that whole area. I mean, I was in Manchester for like a week and a half. You know. Well, I don't think I wasn't there when it happened. Well, no, I wasn't.
There we go.
Oh, Bill says I was there when it happened. Not this, Bill. This happened after. No, Bill. This is something. This isn't something new. This is something that happened after the little girls got stabbed. Well, I mean, there's always stabbings in Manchester, I guess. Again, I quite liked Manchester, and like I said, I'll have to go back there. So, but all this has really. So they stop smearing the family with truth. It hurts their feelings. So, I'm gonna play this here for a second because I have to go use the restroom again, unfortunately. But this is 40 seconds of
Yes,
again
being a homosexual.
Well, let's just point it this way: is that two-tier cure or two-tier policing or some version of those hashtags have been trending for days for a reason. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Spoon, entertain the folks if I don't come back in time before it's over. Be right back. I'm gonna put it on now. Okay.
What am I doing?
I'm just gonna play this clip.
I have responsibilities now. I don't like this.
I'll be right back.
Be in no doubt,
I was shocked.
those
and
that have
angered
participated in
at
this
the killing of
violence
George Floyd
will face the full
and the
force
response
of the law.
President Trump
The police
and the US
will be
authorities
making arrests.
to the peaceful
Individuals
protest.
will be
People
held
right
on
to
remand.
confusing.
Justice
Charges will follow,
been an affront to
and
humanity.
convictions will
the last
follow.
week has shone a
I
spotlight
guarantee
on the racism,
you will regret taking part in this
discrimination
disorder,
and injustice
whether directly
experienced
or
by
those
those
whipping
from
up
black
this
and
action
minority ethnic
online
communities
and then
in the
running
US,
away themselves.
in the UK,
This is not
across
protest.
the world.
It is
Martin
organised,
Luther King
violent
said,
thuggery.
injustice anywhere
And it has no
is a
place
threat to justice.
on our... Be
Like
in
you,
no doubt,
I was
No,
shocked
why is it
those
no
that have
no.
participated in
at
this
the killing of
violence
George
God
Floyd
damn it.
will face the full
and the
force
response
of the law.
President Trump
The police
and the US
will be
authorities
making arrests.
to the peaceful
Individuals
protests.
will be...
There we go. By the way, when you set buildings on fire and cause $2 billion worth of property damage, that is not peaceful. You stupid asshole. You can measure the damage in dollars.
But the hypocrisy is palpable.
Can we stop
they don't even
pretend-
care about hiding it.
Can we
That's the
stop
thing that's
pretending like this man is running anything?
Well, no, he's clearly not.
Yes,
but it's
he's
just
a figurehead. He's not running shit. He
Yeah.
doesn't even know where Britain is on a map.
Probably actually doesn't. I just think that it's again, we often people on the right, ourselves included, obviously here. This is a tweet from Tommy Robinson, who I'm going to say some things about in a minute. It's I think on a stream like this, it's interesting and sort of fun to point out the
Stupidity.
hypocrisy and the evilness of these people. But understand that they don't give a shit. They don't give a single damn. I mean, like, this means nothing to them. It's all just theater. And us even pointing it out is part of the theater. Which is weird, but, yeah, all you can do, I guess, is point it out and laugh at it and just look at the lunatics who run the asylum. So Elon Musk threw his hat into this, interestingly. Because I don't see Elon comment very often on UK politics.
Wonder why.
He asked, is this Britain or the Soviet Union? In 2030, for making a Facebook comment the UK government didn't like. We'll get to this, actually, because it's really bad. It was... So, like... I'll play this in a second.
And taking her...
This is fucking... where are the actual... Two-tier cure. Basically, Elon used the two-tier cure hashtag. And we'll get more into what does it mean by two-tier cure. I think we already kind of know what it means, but just to explain what two-tier cure means, is that the UK clearly has a two-tiered policing system, which is that if you are a white Briton and you do something, then you have to follow a certain set of laws. If you are a non-white person living in the United Kingdom, you don't have to follow any laws, apparently. I mean, they're letting them walk around with machetes, you know? Just ignore it. Just ignore that. They should we talk about the Rotherham rape gangs? How about that? That was legitimately swept up and covered up by the police. The police knew that there were rape gangs with hundreds of... Yes, exactly, Bill, because they were clients. With hundreds of victims, and they swept it up and hid it for decades. They're in on it. The police in the United Kingdom are so corrupt. It absolutely boggles my mind how corrupt they are. It's sickening. So of course they don't want their little grift, to be tread upon, do they? Where they can arrest and harass law-abiding British citizens while getting kickbacks from criminals. You wouldn't want anything to be stepped in on that grift now, would you? I rewatched Hot Fuzz not too long ago because it was on TV when I was in Manchester. It was on TV when I was in Manchester. And I was like, oh, I love Hot Fuzz. I'll rewatch Hot Fuzz. How bizarre. Sergeant Nicholas Angel, actual legitimately good cop, right? If only there were such a thing. Even that film makes a mockery of it. How no one takes them seriously, and how much worse things are now. You there, Spoon?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let's see
I
what
don't have
this.
much to say.
Yeah, I know. It's infuriating. I hate it. So, you want to see what Sky News has to say about Elon Musk's unjustified comments about
No, I don't want to know what a
two-tier
bunch of
care?
homosexuals think about my countrymen. They can fuck off.
I just want to hear it for a minute, and then we'll click off it.
And taking her place is the Courts Minister, Heidi Alexander, to discuss all of the latest developments. A very good morning to you, Minister. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Wanted to start with the comments Mari was saying in her first bit of analysis there about what Neil Basu had been saying, the former counterterrorism chief, that some of the worst actions of this violence in the last week should be considered under terrorism laws. Is that something that the government agrees with?
So all decisions about charging will be matters for the Crown Prosecution Service, and there will clearly be a range of offences that...
Well, they've already made these decisions, by the way, that yes, it is like serious charges. Well, look at them. They're already charging people. We're not going to get any kind of... There's not going to be any legal action against the man... the child, the 17-year-old Rwandan second-generation immigrant who stabbed and murdered 3 little girls and injured 8 others. He's not going to see any kind of trial till January.
Through legal processes without violence, I got
No,
news for you.
clearly not.
That's not going to happen.
No, they're going to give him all
French
kinds
Revolution.
of shit. Yeah. Oh, he's a good boy. He didn't do nothing.
Have been committed. Some very serious offences, violent disorder, rioting, I suspect, incitement to racial
yeah, that's why
hatred.
I see. That's why they put Nick Angel in the
But
country.
those decisions are for the CPS, and as a politician, I'm not going to get involved in those and pass commentary on it. What I do want to ensure, though, is that the individuals who are responsible for this absolutely disgusting and vile and totally unacceptable behaviour on our streets. And let's be honest.
Who's been responsible for that? Now, I'm not saying that people on the right, such as it is, they're just Brits. Just regular British people who are outraged, and rightly goddamn so, that 3 little girls were slaughtered. And that's why I said, the one thing that I get out of this that makes me hopeful is that I hope this has awoken, on some degree, the Anglo spirit. The Anglo's been going around for the last 800 years, about that, 600 at least for sure, just conquering everybody. Just fucking everybody's shit up. And I think that is based, and I would like the Anglo to get really angry again, and do some more of that. And can you awaken the, I often talk about my favorite movie, Merlin, the made-for-TV film starring Sam Neill, and it's I think you gotta wake the dragon. I think you gotta wake the red dragon. Get angry, dude. Restore and reclaim your birthright. Be angry about this stuff. You conquered the entire freaking planet. Get mad again and do it.
It's not like they have a choice now. The only way out's through.
I guess the only way is out through. Yeah.
Let's face it. You will now never know peace in England again until those politicians swing from.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear Bill, but he said you'll never know peace in England again until those politicians hang from lampposts. I didn't say it, Bill did.
I concur, by the way.
Make Labour wind chimes again.
Oh, make Labour wind chimes again.
They'll be feckless and inefficient.
Well, they are feckless and inefficient, as we've seen here. I think this is actually a good thing. Just don't get yourself involved in their hideous psyops. Avoid their hideous psyops, but don't. Yeah. But I think that the underlying thing that's happened here is that you've woken the fucking dragon. You've woken the dragon.
They have already got right-wing terrorism. That's all the excuse they need.
Yeah, right-wing terrorism. Yeah.
If you stop now, they will bury you in blood.
I don't think you want to fuck with Baz. I think you don't want to fuck with Baz from the north. He is full of so many Greg's pasties.
That's Jack was stealing them for him. If you stop now, politicians will drag you out of your homes, kicking and screaming, and put you in prison for the rest of your life, and move Arabs into your fucking house.
And That is not a joke. They have done that. They have taken people's homes from them, homes that they owned, and said, no, we actually need to reclaim this house to put some migrants in it.
They've had to be stopped multiple times.
And you're gonna pay for it. We're gonna take your house. Yes, we're gonna take your house. We're gonna in England.
No, I know that. I'm wondering like where. Show me where there's a report.
Well, I don't know if it's gone through, but I know they've been trying to. Yeah.
Stopped multiple times. I'm not sure.
I don't. Yeah, again, Bill and I don't. You haven't heard about this.
No, I haven't.
You hadn't heard about. Okay, so I don't have any of this up right now, but I at least heard that it was happening. Maybe it didn't go through, but there were people. They didn't go through, Bill.
The times that got brought up didn't go through.
But there.
It was ridiculous.
But there were instances where the government was essentially saying, where they were trying to kick out people who owned their own homes and saying, well, no, we need this. We're redistricting this.
Basically, eminent domain.
This area. Yeah, we're redistricting this to a migrant-friendly zone, and you don't. And oh yeah, because it was originally, Bill, they offered them money. They offered them a bunch of money to sell their house to the government. So, and then but then the people who kept saying no, eventually, yes, I don't think they actually ever did evict them, but they were trying to evict them from a home that they fucking owned because they wouldn't take the bribe, essentially. It was unfreaking believable. It's just absolutely sick.
Well, the idea that the Met would be trusted with anyone.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't trust the Met with anything, ever. No.
Literally got a higher rating Muslims.
Anyway, let's get back to this, shall we? Bill, do you have anything else you want to say tonight?
All you need is one good.
Yeah, Bill, go ahead.
All you need is to like put one guy on a pike and they'd get the message.
I kind of agree with that, actually.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true. And that's the whole thing, is that it's mostly a bunch of young kids.
Migrant scaries. That's why they fight in groups of 40.
Well, exactly, because they fight in they fight in big groups, and that's their whole strategy. Their entire strategy is to overwhelm you by their sheer numbers.
In numbers, yeah.
That's what they do.
Classic mob tactic.
Exactly.
Sleeps.
Yeah.
Those at home might want to look up a term the Spanish use called camisado.
Ooh, whoa. Anywho, let's go back to this. Thank you, Bill, as always, for your. I do always appreciate your input. Yeah, Bill does not. Bill has no chill.
Nice.
Here we go.
It is racist attacks. It is dangerous extremism and downright criminal behaviour that they need to face consequences for their actions. Because when somebody, chooses to throw a brick at a police officer, chooses to set a building alight, they're choosing to commit a criminal offence.
She's speaking about Brits, not about the Muslims who've been burning shit down, who throw bricks at police. She is specifically, this Heidi Alexander woman is specifically talking about the Brits who allegedly did this stuff. And again, they did apparently try to burn down that Holiday Inn. They didn't succeed. Oh well. I mean, I'm not in favor of them burning down a Holiday Inn. But I understand their anger. If the Holiday Inn has been putting migrants up there for years now, I mean, like, how does the Holiday Inn? I guess it's just the UK government just pays them. They just pay them to house migrants and take out their dirty laundry every day. Like, it's one of the reasons you pay premium to stay at a hotel, is so people can go do your wash and stuff and clean up for you every day. You have maids. People are living luxurious lives in the United Kingdom, despite not being citizens, not paying a single cent. They're taking all of this from the citizens, from people, taking it, let's be honest, out of their pensions in many cases. It's insane.
At that point.
So you're saying it's dangerous extremism, it's violence, it's disgusting, I think you said. Is it potentially terrorism?
Well, it will be for...
Was there a hotel in Rotherham burned down? What I saw was the Holiday Inn that was, I think...
Dankula spoke about it in his video.
There was a hotel they tried to burn down. Let me find this. UK hotel burned. It was in Birmingham. It was a Holiday Inn in Tamworth. It was set ablaze, but it's fine. What?
Birmingham.
Did I say something weird?
Never mind. The pun went over your head.
Or did I pronounce it wrong?
No, never mind.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I didn't get that. So, yeah, 11 cops injured. but
Oh, how sad.
but the hotel didn't burn down. They did set it on fire. And it was an asylum seeker hotel. I stayed at a Holiday Inn in Birmingham back a couple months ago. It was actually quite nice. I got to stay in the cripple room. But
The sheets are
I
actually
didn't get
very
to.
nice.
I mean, I like Holiday Inns. But yeah, I stayed in a Holiday Inn. Well, it wasn't in Birmingham. It was outside of it. But yeah, a couple months ago. Fucking A. Crazy.
The Crime Prosecution Service to look at all the evidence. As you will understand, there'll be a huge amount of digital evidence.
Oh, it's going to be tons of digital evidence of all this,
CPS need to be wading through in order to build the case for the prosecution, and it will be for them to decide what the
Who cares? That's what this woman is on about. She doesn't give a shit what any of the Muslims do.
I would like to know who
She's
is
only talking about
responsible for this. Like, why am I seeing nothing but whites, English whites, selling their soul to these shit-skinned fucking immigrants who are there to do nothing but subvert the nation
Because
state?
they are full of white guilt. They have been trained since birth to hate themselves.
This is not white guilt. This is money. There is a shitload of money flowing from somewhere to make these jackasses talk like this. And I want to know who the hell is animating these pieces of shit to
George
sell out
Soros.
their own kin.
Yeah, that's what That's what she is doing. Here she is. This woman going on and on, but she is not talking about anything. The Muslims, the immigrants, they
You
can
do
do nothing wrong.
realize if
They
the
can never
immigrants
do
were
anything
to
wrong.
take power, you would be thrown around like a rag doll and raped like a piece of fucking meat.
Oh, damn, son! Wowee.
You will be nothing. You will be a doll. You will be a commodity thrown around by people that have absolutely no respect for you whatsoever. I hope you suffer and everyone around you suffers because you have no idea what absolute despicable evil you are unleashing. And I hope you burn in hell when all of these
they will.
people
Don't worry
round you
about
up
that.
and kick the shit out
Oh,
of you.
that's
'Cause
why- that's
will
why I don't get too worried.
inevitably happen.
Spoon, that's why I don't get too worried, because I am a Christian, and I know what's going to happen to people. You come out here and lie like this. You are traitors to your own nation. And what is the lowest level of hell reserved for, Spoon?
Politicians and lawyers.
No. Do you know what the lowest level in Dante's Inferno? What is the lowest level of hell resided? Who goes to the lowest level of hell? Who is that reserved for?
I don't know. I don't know Dante's Inferno.
Traitors. Traitor. Being a traitor is the worst thing you can be. And this woman right here
after those comments.
is a traitor. I don't know.
appropriate charge is for any individual.
And is the court system ready to cope, ready to handle the potential number of cases that comes its way?
Yeah, so this weekend we stood up 70 extra prosecutors. We ran 60 remand
King Charles,
courts
you do
in
realise you
50
will eventually
locations.
lose your head if you allow these people to take control. They're not going to respect your reign.
Oh, I just, oh man, I wish he would just dissolve Parliament. Do it. It'd be
You
so
could become
based.
the most popular
It's not that
king
based.
in England's history if you just went like, no, I'm going to take control and do some base shit.
Dissolve Parliament. You can do it. You have the power to. He won't do it. He's not that base. He's not even in the vicinity of that base. He's not even in the fucking galactic code of that base.
My God, if I was king of England right
dissolve
now, oh my
Parliament.
God, I would be so authoritarian.
Yeah.
I mean, by modern regime standards.
No,
I
I mean,
would be, I
yeah,
would be
you should
a
be.
despicable despot.
Someone's because there needs to be a freaking adult in the room, you know? Someone needs to be an adult here, because these people are children. I don't care how old they are. They act as children.
Back in 2011, there was also longer sitting hours in the magistrates' court, where some magistrates' courts sat into the evenings and over weekends. After the
Okay, now they're
riots,
just they're just talking about other shit. Doesn't matter. Okay. So, Keir Starmer, who has been, again, Prime Minister for a month.
To keep them safe. You mean the people that are basically destroying your civilization?
Yep. Listen to this. Here's what he has to say. In response, again, to 3 little white British girls getting slaughtered for no reason. Some guy some Rwandan second-generation immigrant just rolled up and said, I feel like killing white children today. Here is Sir Keir Starmer's response.
In relation to the Muslim community, look, me be very clear. I will take every step that's necessary to keep you safe.
To the Muslim community. He couldn't give less of a shit about the English community, about the British community, could he?
Okay,
now?
Somebody asked me there if
Sick.
I was King of England, what would be like the first 5 things I will do? First thing I will do immediately is fire everyone that isn't European from the armies. All non-Europeans will instantly be dropped dead. The English Navy, especially, is to be only English. Secondly, I will deploy the Navy to patrol the waters and shoot and kill and sink any boats in my waters, effective immediately. I mean,
I'd sure love it because they're
yes. Instantly.
Spoon,
that is.
Spoon, we're literally in the middle of it.
Yes.
I mean, here in the channel, we see that shit all the time. They come over here and fucking steal our fucking seafood.
Yes.
And that's one thing, but they pass through here all the time.
I will fire upon French vessels as well. And third, I will round
obviously
up
fire
anyone
upon the French.
that is not an English, that holds any sort of English paperwork, and immediately just say, you have 2 choices. You get out of the country or you hang from a noose.
Yep.
That's it. Like, I will be...
Get out.
The main thing, if you are a king, is you protect your civilization. You are here on the taxpayer's dime. You are draining my pocketbook.
You know what's insane?
Your life will end or you will get the fuck out.
Do you know what's crazy? What's crazy? So, I'm an expat. I live in Guernsey, which is not quite the UK, but sort of more or less. It's complicated, okay? I don't get anything. You know, I don't get any kind of benefits. I don't get any kind of dole money. I don't get nothing. Okay, I pay everything. I had to pay every single, like, I pay everything up front. I pay more than anyone who's a citizen here because I'm a foreigner. If I were brown, if I were a Pakistani and not an American, you think I'd be paying a fucking cent?
No.
No, I sure wouldn't. Instead, I am paying more. I am paying way more than anyone from here, honestly, which makes sense to live here. And it's okay. It's worth doing because I like Guernsey, but the reality and Guernsey is very different from England. Okay, to be fair, like they don't. Yeah. Yes, Kevin, exactly. As I should, because I'm not from here. I'm not from here. I'm an expat. I don't intend to. If my parents hear this and they often listen, sorry, I don't intend to move back to the United States. Probably.
Mr. and Mrs. Aiden's parents.
Well, I don't probably intend. The point is, I don't really intend to ever move back to the United States. I mean, to go back, sure, but I like it here. You know, I like. I don't know what to say. I do. The people I like are here. They do.
You're basically de facto English.
But I would never call myself. But I'm not. You know, and they keep doing that. These people like he was Scottish, he's British. No, he's not. No, they're fucking not. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if I die here on this island. I won't.
How about that?
Well, sure.
Yanglo.
If I die on this island, it doesn't make me. I'll never be.
You're a Yanglo. We should call you that.
Bill, would you say Guernseyman or Guernsey woman? Do you say Guernsey woman? Just Guernseyman? I'll never be a Guern, right? Like it doesn't matter, okay? And that doesn't upset me. I don't know why it upsets other people who are immigrants. That like, oh, you'll never be this, that, or the other. The idea that you will become part of a nation because you move to it is a purely American idea.
Well, yeah. I live in
It doesn't
Ireland.
exist
I'm
in
not an Irish
any
person.
other right. It doesn't exist in any other country on earth. That's what's so bizarre to me. Like if you move to Japan, you don't become Japanese no matter how long you live there, you know? And there is the only country on this planet where if you move there, you become a part of the country is the United States. And there's this strange export of United States-ism, United States identity, of saying like, well, if you've lived in the United Kingdom for a couple of years, then you're British. Are you fucking out of your mind? No, you're not.
No.
Not even a little bit. That's insane. By the way, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt my feelings in any way. I don't know why it would. Because I'm not insane? So I don't know why it upsets these other migrants who don't migrate legally the way that I have, you know? Also, not a lot of people trying to move this direction the way that I did. Just saying. Most people are trying to get out for these kinds of reasons. Because look who's in fucking charge. Look at this loser lunatic Keir Starmer. Let's listen to him some more though. Here we go.
And that's why I said what I said about mosques being attacked because they're mosques. The far right is showing...
They weren't being attacked because they were mosques. They were being attacked because someone who they was perceived as being a Muslim, even though apparently he wasn't, murdered 3 little girls. That's why. And the reason why, even if this guy wasn't a Muslim, why it's being taken out upon Muslims is because Muslims have committed a huge amount of heinous crimes, specifically against children, that the UK government has covered up. The Rotherham rape gangs. You fucking freak. That's why people are upset. You covered up. The British government covered up the rape of hundreds of little girls. Covered it up for decades. Let's not pretend that didn't fucking happen. Everyone knows it. I mean, you also covered for Jimmy Savile, but come on, that's really nothing comparatively. Christ on the crutch.
Our right is showing who they are. We have to show who...
Oh, they're showing who they are by protesting, by being angry because little girls were murdered. Let's show who you are by covering it up. Yeah, that's what you've been doing for decades, hasn't it been?
We are, in response to that, and that's why we pulled together this response this afternoon to try and coordinate and make sure that as we face the next few days and weeks, we have the strongest possible response in order to ensure that there is safety for all of our citizens, including those Muslims who...
He says safety for all of our citizens, including
and then
Muslims.
Meeting Muslims, like Jesus.
It
Christ.
does not speak about native Brits, whatever.
Can I just say, like,
yeah,
purely from like a civilization perspective, I hate him because his pathetic cowardice makes my race look weak, and I fucking hate him.
It makes us all look weak. Fuck
like,
him.
Just buying, or just from a purely like evolution perspective, bowing down to an inferior person while you shell out your nation's wealth to feed them, just like fills me with a rage that should be all rights reserved for French kings and fascistic tyrants.
Well, he hates. And not just him, not just Keir. It's the entirety of Labour.
He has any opinions of his own. Like,
oh, he probably doesn't. No, I think he is. I think that
plastic.
Labour in general, and that will include Keir, they genuinely hate British people. They hate. They want to be part of. They want to be Europe. They want to be Europeans. They hate the idea of Britishness. They want to be Europeans.
They're only
right?
globalists. They don't have any ideas of.
Yes, it's the same thing. That's what I mean, right? They hate the idea of British sovereignty. They hate the idea of British culture as not being part of the global European identity, which England has never been a part of and never fucking will be. Okay? First of all, the idea of broad European identity is insane. Almost every European country hates every other European country, so that's ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been to war with them for literally hundreds of years.
Yeah. So, this whole thing is that there's no such thing as being British. We're just people. Okay, sure. It's an absurdity, but that's where he's coming from with this nonsense.
We'll see, as you rightly say, attacks on their mosques because they're mosques.
It's not because they're mosques. It's because they have been murdering and raping people. And what they did though here is that two-tier Keir started trending, and then all of these weirdos just started admitting to it. That actually, yes, we do engage in two-tier policing in the United Kingdom. Former Labour MP Sion Simon defends the idea of two-tier policing in the UK. So at first they denied it was happening, and by the way, they denied it was happening for years.
Now it's a good thing.
And now this is always the case with the left. It's not happening, but if it is, it's a good thing. Every fucking time with them. It's not happening. Okay, it is happening, but it's a good thing. Every time when they get caught out. And now listen to this. Let's just listen to this.
It's not comparable in scale. Have dozens and dozens and dozens of policemen been put in hospital by those Muslims in Birmingham? No.
So let me answer.
Oh no, the police haven't been put in hospital by the Muslims in Birmingham. Do you actually have any data on that? By the way, on when? I've been through Birmingham
that's
recently several
true
times.
Because the police don't fucking attack them.
the police don't investigate them at all, do they? Now, here's the thing that we're going to...
So that's really pathetic. So the police who never engage in people who attack everybody else, they don't have any attacks on the Muslims. Like, yeah, because they don't hit them, you fucking shithead.
And in fact, what we're going to hear from the chief of police for the West Midlands is that they let them police themselves. So no wonder the police don't have any negative interactions with these migrant, I'm going to call them enclaves that exist all over England, because they don't police them. They don't bother to do anything. They just let them run themselves. So no wonder there's no issues with the police in these communities, because the police don't police them. Idiot. As the West Midlands Chief of Police admits, and we will look at.
Let me tell you now what many people, Sean, will be shouting at their screens.
Uh-huh.
So your concern here seems to be, your measure of badness almost seems to be how many police officers have been injured. Many of my viewers, Sean, will be shouting at their screens saying, no, Michelle, there's not been masses of police officers injured in Birmingham for one simple reason. Where were the police?
Thank you. Exactly. Exactly.
It was like spot the police officer. Where were they?
Oh, Connor's on this. I forgot that Connor was on this panel.
You had gangs of these people, many of them armed. We saw that for ourselves.
Yep, they had machetes, they had knives, they're out in the streets. You can't have a fucking butter knife. You pay your fucking TV license. Unbelievable in this nation. It's entirely two-tiered policing. It is on every level. Every British person knows it. Everyone who lives in these islands knows it, that it is one rule for thee and another for me. We all know it. We all know it.
Many of them are doing all kinds of things in their car, and many of them, as I've just shown you, trying to get at somebody in their car because they thought he was an EDL member. The police went hard.
Who haven't existed for 10 years. Oh, we thought it was an EDL member. No, you didn't. You lying sack of shit. No one thought I was an EDL member. You're out of your mind. It is a cope. And the left are just eating up. It's like, oh, there's Nazis. There's Nazis. It's what they're just, essentially calling the EDL, which doesn't exist. Oh, it's so infuriating.
Because the police weren't there.
The police were there.
They weren't.
Where?
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Literally, one of the heads of Birmingham Police came out this morning and said it was nothing more than a scuffle you'd see on a Saturday night. They were not there. This is what I'm saying. It is comparable.
I mean, yes, I heard the exact thing. I think we might have that one in the docket here. But they said that there was nothing more that happened other than a scuffle that you'd see on an average Saturday night. Average people out getting drunk. This is normal. No, it's not normal. And it's not normal for a reason. 3 little girls were fucking slaughtered, And anyone who has a heart, anyone who has a soul is infuriated by this. And that's why I said the red...
They don't have either.
I know. That's why I said the English dragon has awoken. I think people are finally getting... And I really hope the protests and the riots, if you want to call them that, don't stop. Because it's time to take back the fucking country. It is time to take back this country. And I'm not trying to Fed post. I'm saying do it. Don't go to these events either.
Anyway.
I'm saying don't go to these events. Don't go to these events that are planned. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because they are okay. I called them earlier. They're honeypots. But I think that the English dragon has awoken, and I think people are finally fucking tired of having their nation infiltrated and raped. And it's the only way I can describe it is as a national level rape by these foreigners who hate you and will take advantage of you at every opportunity. I really hope that the spirit of England has been reawoken.
Well, because both actions are immoral. And I'll tell you what, mate, I think they should crack down on this before they reach the same scale.
The dragon is Welsh, yeah, but it's also what Wales is. It's King Arthur's sigil, It's the Welsh dragon is also the English dragon, yeah.
Police officer injuries. I don't think they should wait till then. And Keir Starmer, by not calling it out, is letting it escalate.
Graham Whetton,
yes, he is.
the police...
He is. Connor's right. Keir, by ignoring all this, is allowing it to happen, or allowed it to happen, yes.
Police officer who spent 30 years on the front line of public order policing and wrote the book on public public order policing, absolutely clearly, unequivocally, as all senior police officers have done, have said, obviously, policing, anybody who knows anything about policing will tell you, is tiered. You can't police everything. Everything.
Excuse me? All policing is tiered. You can't
law
police
is
everything.
Tiered, but policing is never tiered.
Dude, I can't believe he said this. Just all policing is tiered. What a double down. Yes, of course we engage in two-party policing. Is that it's one rule for the whites and one rule for the non-whites. That's what he's saying. He's like, yeah, of course, we all know that. It's how it's supposed to work. Are you confused by this? Of course we give different rules to the non-whites. Unbelievable that you would say this just on here in GB News, I guess. I don't know.
At full scale, everywhere, all the time. You tier policing according to the threat and the requirement. That
you're talking about triage, which is different from, or sort of triage sort of treatment, which is different from tiered policing, which is that you're only in trouble based on the color of your skin, which is what we're actually seeing. That's what we're actually seeing. But thanks for admitting to it, homie.
Event, those blokes standing on the middle of a roundabout was appropriately policed.
Hang on, standing in the middle of a roundabout, they literally we just played the footage of them assaulting a car and assaulting a pub.
Yeah.
Why are you not admitting this has happened?
Why are you not distinguishing that from the level of disorder, violence and criminality?
I already said they should go to prison.
So we saw this too, is that, yeah, they were in that roundabout, but then they went and assaulted some people at a pub. And he's like, well, why can you not understand other things? That there's other things happening, they might have feelings. No, let Connor fucking go. Go off, King. Come on.
The level of disorder, violence and criminality that has gone on all over this country
I already said
for a week. The bottom line is...
He won't even let Connor talk. Come on. Like, oh man, I can understand his frustration.
Which side are you on? And you were on the side of the criminal football hooligans.
Oh, the criminal football hooligans. And you're on the side of murderous, non-English invaders who hate you. And by the way, my little dude, who's this dude? Simon, guess what? If they got one half of a chance, they would stab you in the fucking kidneys, dude. Because they hate you, and they know they can take advantage of you, and they know that if they stabbed you in the kidney, you'd sit there and go, I'm sorry, would you like any of my other organs?
You'd be a total bitch about it.
What a pathetic worm you are. Pathetic. You are a traitor. You are a traitor. You betray your nation to invaders in hopes of what? Attention?
They will not kill you.
I mean,
this is the exact
why
same
invite them in?
attitude
If you don't invite them in, they won't have the ability to kill you. You know? It's an island. This is unbelievable. This is an island nation. You can't get here very easily. You know what I mean? It's sort of what's protected England for, like, I don't know, like a couple thousand years. And you just want to invite people from the Middle East over in planes. They have no right.
Reason?
Because he wants them as part of his voting bloc. He wants them to vote for his bullshit. That's all it's about. That's literally all it's about, is about creating a captive political class. They looked at the Americas, or at America, they looked at the United States and said, oh, look, they have this captive class of blacks that always vote left. Now that's changing, by the way, because blacks aren't, the left has overestimated how stupid they think black people are. And let's not beat around the bush with that. The American left thinks that blacks are so retarded that they can't breathe without a Democrat telling them what to do. And it appears to be that like the UK left is going on the same thing. Is that like, yeah, we need these migrants, and that's how we win. Keep them on our plantation. Same fucking strategy.
That is which side you're on, because you're trying to make the argument that a few Muslims standing in the middle of a roundabout amounts to the same thing, and it doesn't.
They weren't standing
nothing
in the
like
middle of a roundabout, and you know it. They had bladed weapons, they intimidated a Sky News reporter, they were speeding, they attacked...
Yeah, we looked at it, we saw it. They had bladed weapons, they did harass that Sky News reporter. Connor's completely correct. We saw it. You can't lie about it. Go ahead and try and make up your fantasy version of reality, but we all saw it. We saw it happen.
The car, and they attack people inside a pub, and I have no problem condemning people that are arsonists, that are thieves,
I have no problem
and you
condemning.
As
I have no problem.
I said the same thing. I condemn the people who, if they were arsonists, who really did try to burn that holiday in, I condemn them 100%.
I don't.
But I know you don't. But
why would I condemn someone that is actually trying to harm somebody's nation and the people of the nation are trying to fight back? Like, you are literally storing people who have no right to be in this nation, and you're saying these, like,
there might be
the freaking
there's children and women in that.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Okay, you are inside this nation as an infecting parasite, and you are upset that the nation, the people of that nation, whose money is being paid, right, is being used, is being siphoned, is stolen from them, to come and support a foreign horde, and you think I'm going to fucking cry foul that, oh my goodness, the native population wants to stop this? Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to condemn that. Get lost.
No, I mean, you're right. You're right. I just, sorry, it's my woman moment coming out. Well, I don't, because there could be women and children in those hotels, and that's
Where's your
why...
libertarian? Where's the capitalist? Where's capitalist Aiden just says, like, you are stealing from the taxpayer?
Oh yeah, I'm
There
infuriated
you
by
go.
that. I mean, that's an. I started out with that. I started out talking about that, how insane that was. That they've stolen all this money from the British taxpayer to put up these people who have no right to fucking be here. Like, and again, it drives me nuts that I have to pay all this shit to be here, and it's cool. I don't mind it. I chose to live here. So did them, though. These people all chose to do it too. Where's my money?
It's not an IQ difference.
The reality is that I'm never gonna.
Ovaries and I have testosterone.
No, but the point is that, like, it's, look, that's the reality. I'm never going to get to be paid money to stay here. I don't mind that, but no, neither should anybody else. This is a small island, okay, or a small couple of islands. It's really tiny, all right? There's not space for infinite losers. So get the fuck out. Go back to your own fucking states and get out of here. I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of pretending that they belong here in any way. And they don't integrate, they just take over areas, and that's why they go out here and they don't act under British law, because they have never in their entire lives been subject to British law despite living in Britain, and it's insane. And they need to leave then. If you can't live under British law, then you need to go.
This is why I favor oppression, because I am sick of thinking that, liberalism is universal. No, it isn't. There are some people that deserve to be oppressed. There are some people who deserve to be fucking slaves, because if you give them freedom, they fuck up everywhere they go. There are some people who should be permanently under a whip and chain and a slave master that beats the crap out of them all damn day long, because they will never ever be anything more useful than when someone is kicking their ass 24/7.
No.
Welcome to reality.
Yep.
Thank you, Aristotle.
Lance says Aiden's living proof that a crying child is all she needs to give up Western civilization. No, Lance. But the reason why I don't think women should have power is because, guess what? You're right. when the Israel-Palestine stuff started happening,
and I was seeing King of Scotland.
Hang on, that way based. Hang on one sec. Oh man, my allergies are terrible today. But
William Wallangula.
But as to what you said there, Lance, so real quick, you were kind of right in that, like, when that stuff was happening with Israel-Palestine at first, and I saw all those videos and pictures of those little babies who were, dead. I mean, it faced me. I can't do that. That's why I don't think women should vote, myself included. I don't disclude myself from that perspective. I think some women who
we don't want anyone to vote. So
it's
not really a woman thing.
Yes, exactly. So it's not even a woman thing. Yeah, but I think that you'll hear some women who are kind of like anti 19 pilled, and they'll be like, but not me. I'm one of the good ones. I'm like, no. This is a yes or no kind of thing that you agree to. You say women shouldn't vote, or they should. I don't think anyone should vote, but I definitely don't think women should, because again, like, just saying, like, when I saw videos of dead children, well, I got really upset, I think that that's a very normal feminine response. I'm not upset. I'm not ashamed by it, but it's definitely why women shouldn't be involved with this stuff politically, in a way that makes actual changes to things. Okay, oh, this one's later. Hang on, because this guy really hit the freaking ball home.
Is there something that is going to make me not want to throw a bottle of whiskey at people's heads today?
No, it's gonna be
so
way.
far, this is just
it's gonna make
making
it way
me
worse.
Just fucking rage.
Okay.
It's gonna be worse.
Listen to
okay.
this. Oh yeah, listen to this. Just listen to this shit. So basically, now that if now here's the thing. So it's not enough to just like protest against it, but if you talk about it, the UK government is going to arrest you, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't actually think they will.
Hi, you can't do shit to me. You can't do shit to me, homie. Go ahead and try. Not only am I an expat, I'm not a British national, but you can't do shit over here in Guernsey. Good luck. But now they're saying that if you talk about it, they're going to arrest you.
So they're all admitting it's a problem.
The problem is that they don't want people to talk about the things that are happening in the West Midlands.
The offence of incitement to racial hatred involves publishing or distributing material which is insulting or abusive, which is intended to...
Insulting. If you insult someone, they're going to arrest you.
Or likely to start racial hatred. So if you retweet that, then you're republishing that. And
you just a retweet, not even you saying something. You retweet it. They're going to come fucking arrest you.
then potentially you're committing that offence. And we do have dedicated police officers who are scouring social media.
Dedicated.
Their job.
They have dedicated police
hold
officers.
on a second. When the civilization is burning down and people are being attacked, you have a bunch of fucking cunts sitting on their fat fucking asses, scanning through code because it might offend someone. Oh my god, the shit I want to say. I can't say on this platform, but man, I want to.
They're not going to arrest people who are actually, out there with machetes, out there committing violent crimes because they're brown. They're allowed to do that. But if you retweet something naughty that the government doesn't like, well, we've got our entire police force out there working 24 hours a day to make sure you don't say something that's not approved of by the United Kingdom government.
Oh my god.
Isn't that fucking cute?
Is to look for this material and then follow up with identification arrests and so forth. So it's a really, really serious. People might
really serious, yeah.
think they're not doing anything harmful.
Because they're not doing anything harmful, idiot.
And the consequences will be visited upon them.
See, Jordan, this is why internet
consequences will
anonymity
be visited upon you.
Is important, and this is also why I wouldn't have a blue check mark, because I don't want any information traced back to me.
Crazy.
I can maybe type, but I don't want identification.
So, this is the Chief Constable Craig Guilford has today offered this message of reassurance to local communities. So, here's the message of reassurance to the local communities in the West Midlands.
Salam alaikum. There is one tier of policing that implies to all of us. And that means that we police...
Stop, turn it off.
Yeah, we gotta already start. Stop. This is only a 10-second long clip, but... Salam alaikum. There's only one tier of policing that implies to all of us. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. And a ching chong ding dong to you too, young lady. What? You know what this means. Assalamu alaikum. We don't engage in two-tier policing. By the way, assalamu alaikum.
And that means that we police without fear or favour.
Oh, without fear or favour. Shukran.
Shukran.
Oh. No fear nor favour. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran. You don't have any favoritism there? This is in England. Why are you speaking in Arabic? Why are you speaking in Arabic in
You're
England
gonna
and saying,
pray that there isn't an
we have no
afterlife because your
favoritism.
ancestors are going to spend the rest of eternity kicking 7 shades of shit out of your eyeballs through your asshole.
I know.
And they would be right to do so.
Yep. Is this the right one? Hang on. Yeah, I got that one. Okay. Now, here is the actual, this is the Mushwoodman's police. This is, I don't know if he's the head of it, but he's going to describe what happened here. This part's insane.
Was there such a low-key, should we say, police presence? Because, I mean, clearly your officers were there, but they were not...
So there's a look. Everyone has noted there's been very, very little police presence. Very little police presence. So could you please explain why the police haven't done shite?
Visible, and yet there were an awful lot of people out and an awful lot of people who were armed with various weapons.
So we have really strong business and community relations, and because we were aware through intelligence that there was a potential protest through that misinformation yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet with community leaders.
What is this Orwellian phrase, misinformation?
It's just
it
so
basically
they
just
can
means
say
just machines or the speech that we don't like.
It means when it's things that we don't like, yeah.
Prior to that event, to kind of understand the style of policing that we needed to deliver.
The style of policing.
That operation. So we knew that there was going to be a large amount of people out on that counter-protest. We knew who the vast majority of those people were.
You knew who they were, so you were spying on them?
Aiden, I can't tolerate much more of this without this pissing me off. Like, seriously,
All
this
right.
is actually, like, irritating the shit out of me.
Let's get through this, yeah.
And it's not even my nation, but it is just...
I know. We'll move on to Kamala Harris. She's funnier. And this stuff is, like, legitimately upsetting.
In terms of what that was likely to look like. And so our policing response was commensurate to that intelligence and the information that we'd held with our partners and communities prior to that event taking place.
Even given there were so many of them clearly armed, I mean, would you do the same if it was an EDL type situation?
And again, EDL type situation. Well, the EDL doesn't exist. The EDL doesn't fucking exist. It hasn't existed in a decade. So you're all making this crap up. And I'm tired of hearing about it. This EDL. Piss off. It doesn't exist.
So we've policed in response to the intelligence that we received at that moment in time. What I would say is that the vast majority of people that attended that protest yesterday did so law-abidingly, and they did it with the right intentions. There were just a small minority of people that attended there and were intent on causing either criminality, disorder, or fear within our...
Did you arrest the Muslims who were walking around with knives? No, you arrested the people, the EDL. By that you mean regular Brits who were disgusted by the fact that 3 little girls were slaughtered in their dance studio for no reason by some freak. And y'all keep trying to run defense for it. It is sickening. It is disgusting. It is beyond reproach.
Our communities. What we saw was a response from our communities where they were trying to kind of make sure that that was policed within themselves as well, and trying to deter people from taking part in that disorder.
Does the guy have Bell's palsy? It does kind of seem like so, but I didn't want to point that out, but yeah.
And as a result, we've been able to go on, gather that evidence, gather that information. We have made arrests. Well, we've made an arrest this afternoon. We continue to try and make arrests in terms of those people that were involved in those disorders.
Okay. I know you want to switch to Kamala Harris. I got a couple things left on this, which is just with the sentencing of the rioters and stuff, and then we'll move on. So why am I more interested in British and political news than you are?
No, it's because it's just pissing me off. It's just the same thing over and over again,
I know.
and I don't want to hear the shit because it is irking the fuck out of me.
So they have said that Liam Riley, 41 of Kirkdale, admitted to violent disorder and a racially aggravated public order offense in Liverpool city centre. He's been jailed for 20 months.
How's that democracy working out for you? I hope fucking democracy dies.
Yep. By the way, listen to this.
Democracy.
So this has happened within a week. This guy has been sentenced to over a year. This guy, Derek Drummond, 58, of Poole Street, Liverpool, pleaded guilty to violent disorder as an assault on an emergency worker in Southport last Tuesday. He was jailed for 3 years. So a year and a half, 3 years. Derek Guerin, 29, admitted to violent disorder and arson and riding in Liverpool, jailed for 2.5 years. So here's what we have. The 17-year-old who stabbed the 3 little girls will not even see court until January. And I'll pull up the additional article here just to show you that. He will not... Now, the only pictures we have of this person, by the way, is him as like a little kid. That's on purpose, by the way. Let's not get that shit twisted. But it's in January 20th. There's already 3 people who have been sentenced. Dude, there's 3 people have been sentenced. He's not even going to go to a court till January. How cute is that? Isn't that fucking interesting? I will just say this, is that I said before, don't go to this stuff. I found this weird. Here's Tommy Robinson on August the 2nd. He's just
connections to the security
posting out
state.
all these places. Now, this has already happened, so, like, as of the 3rd. He knows immediately where to tell people to go and protest. 1 second, I have to clear my throat again.
You good?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him for shit. He's got way
Yeah,
too
I wouldn't
much
trust him
Zionist
either.
ties.
No.
He has ties to the security state. Tommy Robinson is not a good individual.
Oh, did you want to do our little yesterday song? Wait, let me finish off this segment. Make sure then we can. I'm at the end of this. So, last thing I have to say about this is I don't trust Tommy Robinson on the Reform did put out a response, which was from Nige. I've been totally appalled by the levels of violence seen the last couple of days, the level of intimidation and threat to life have been no place in a functioning democracy. You know, it's boilerplate. But I think he did do the minimal the minimum expected of saying that there were problems here that went beyond just oh no, my poor migrants, right?
Why are migrants here?
Why are they here?
Non-whites in Europe at all?
They say that they hate Europe, that we're all a bunch of racists. They hate us. So leave. Go back home. If you don't like it here, then leave. Why are you here? So Spoon, before we get into the Kamala Harris stuff.
This is what happens when you colonize and you don't hold people to the sword.
True. Spoon, can I ask you? And I actually had to ask Chat. Spoon and I have been coming up with a little bit of a song. A little bit of a bop. Alright. So, how do we, and I'm still struggling because, you know what, I gotta take another allergy pill. I already took one,
We're making fun of John Lennon.
we weren't really. Jesus Christ, though, dude. This sucks. I got over my cold, but now my allergies are like, this can't be right.
How would the amount of alcohol you drink you have any problem with your sinuses?
No, I'm saying that there must be something weird here, because, like, I didn't have these problems with my allergies while I was sick. This is really weird, right? Like, why is it now that, like, once I'm not sick anymore, that if I don't take, like, a 24-hour allergy pill every 2 hours, I can't talk? Weird. And 1 sec. Ugh. I hate taking pills. All right. So, Spoon, how does the song go? It goes, yesterday, all my troubles seemed so cringe and gay. and then we don't know the next line.
Yeah.
Now it looks as if they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. I don't know what we're supposed to do. What do we do with that? Where do we go with that, chat?
Yesterday's like the
Well, I look, if my ukulele wasn't borked, I could play it. I know play, but all the strings are warped, so I don't know how to fix it anymore. Well, yeah, I know. I need to get a new ukulele. Because I know to play yesterday on Uke. Obviously. But what do we do? It's the second line. After cringe and gay. Your troubles seem so something and something. Now I believe.
I can probably come up with a new song in a day.
I hate the Beatles, that is all. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a Beatles fan myself.
I like the Beatles. All right.
That's because I prefer modern music.
I have a perfect little way of,
Oh yeah, the guy who wrote this,
not transitioning, segueing. Keir and Kamala, cut from the same cloth.
The guy who wrote this, I kind of want to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's an author.
Would you like to read some of this then?
Yeah.
It starts here. Let me zoom in here for us. You got it? Starts here.
The surreal prospect of Kamala Harris as a major party presidential candidate, and I'm quite drunk right now, to be honest.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little tanked, so if I sound slurry or slow...
Oh no, dude, we got so much more to go through. Come on now.
That will be the reason why.
Eat some cheese or something.
I don't have cheese.
Eat some meat.
Anyway. Moving on. And before that, possibly the president of us all offers irresistible temptation to the satirists and those who love to keep crying. A shallow philosophizing and word salad have filled us all with, shall we say, amusement, at least until now, not since Dan Quayle has any VP or public figure offered such a tempting target for ridicule. And he was an intellectual man, and he was an intelligent man, as it turns out,
Quayle.
whose bravery and sticking of popular
I
troops
can't believe
has been vindicated.
I cannot believe the puffing of Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle.
There we go.
Yeah,
I will
puff him
resist
up.
the temptation and risk ruining everyone's
Blow
fun
smoke
by
up his
posing
ass.
a serious question. How did this hopeless mediocrity rise so high in American public life? Being a politician's mistress offers one alluring explanation, but the real reason
mean like
is
Kamala
more
Harris?
sobering. Yes. It would help if I read.
All right.
Goodness sakes. It is precisely the one that It is precisely the one that she herself has been playing up. But it is also the same reason why so many mediocrities wield so much power in Washington and across America. She was a prosecutor. In U.S. politics, this is now the foolproof career path to power. From prosecutor to district attorney, to state attorney general to governor, and from there on top to Congress and beyond. This says something serious indeed about American politics, and specifically about the current regime's capacity to inflict so many disasters in so many places at once.
She was a prosecutor, he was a politician. Could I make it any more obvious? Sorry. Continue.
You ever living. Prosecutors and other judicial entrepreneurs have had their fingers in most of the pies, whether by commission or omission.
certainly in hers.
From the COVID lockdowns to the BLM Antifa riots to the lawless cities, open borders, election rigging, the security and law enforcement apparatus.
Sorry, you just fell.
To Ukraine.
No, back to Ukraine. I think we both been thrown off of our...
that was really well done. Yeah.
He ID'd all his kids by their smell.
He ID'd all the kids by their smell. He'd never tell. He ID'd all the kids by their smell.
Oh god damn, that was really good. That totally threw me off a loop now.
Already easy. The fact that we have to use crime schemes we've seen it actually get made.
Oh, Mario, okay.
What I could spot.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Continue.
That was
That was a thing.
Anyway, as I was saying, If one common denominator connects the otherwise perplexing assortment of crimes and catastrophes of the last 4 years, it is the mischief of prosecutors, former prosecutors, quasi-prosecutors, would-be prosecutors, and a citizenry habituated to farming out its civic responsibility to lawyers of all kinds, the most deadly of whom are prosecutors. Prosecutors and other judicial entrepreneurs have had their fingers in most of the pies, whether by commission or omission, from the COVID lockdowns to the BLM riots. To the lawless cities, open borders, election rigging, the security and law enforcement apparatus, fabricating hoaxes like Russiagate, the false flag and lawfare operations against Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, and peaceful protesters on January 6, and even the war in Ukraine. Critics like Tulsi Gabbard launched sensational attacks accusing Harris of being a bad prosecutor.
Oh, you mean like how the fact that you mean like how she's done nothing but put black people in jail, black men in jail over largely harmless weed offense crimes? Weird.
You zoom past where I was reading.
What? No, it's right here. Wait, what?
No, you didn't zoom past. Yes.
Sorry, Ed.
There we go.
My bad.
But like all politicians who are themselves products of the system, Gabbard covers up more than she reveals. The litany of injustices she attributes to Harris is nothing out of the ordinary. All prosecutors routinely do the same and worse. Harris herself almost gloats about it. America has a deep and dark history of people using the power of the prosecutor as an instrument of injustice.
Yes.
I know this history well, of innocent men framed, of charges brought against people of color without sufficient evidence, of prosecutors hiding information that would exonerate defendants of the disproportionate application of the law. The scandal here is not one or a few rogue prosecutors, but our penchant for electing public office holders whose foremost qualification and proudest achievements consist of using any devices at their disposal to transfer as much of the population as possible into America's vast archipelago of prisons. Harris is simply the reductio ad absurdum of a tendency that is not limited to ideologues from the left. More polished and plausible political operators use similar maneuvers to betray our trust by their feckless or perfidy, including conservative Republicans. Bloody hell, I am too drunk to read this. I realize that some conservatives believe that the only problem with prosecutors is that they do not lock up more people. Harris is now exploiting the simplistic thinking, repackaging herself as fearless on crime. But this
Kamala
is
repackaging herself as everything that she's everything everywhere all at once. She's black and she's also Indian, depending on when it's needed. She's hard on crime and she's soft on crime. She is a socialist, and then she's a moderate, depending on whenever. Like, she is nothing. She is only whoever she is talking to. Whoever she is talking to, under any circumstance, is what her politics are. She's a complete and utter chameleon, which is chameleon. There you go. There's a reason why that song's being used for her. Kamala Chameleon. She's a chameleon. She doesn't fucking stand for shit.
Like the cum fast of it.
Well, that too. Go ahead, please.
Let's see. I realize that some conservatives believe that the only problem with prosecutors is that they do not lock up more people. Harris is now exploiting this simplistic thinking, repackaging herself as fearless on crime. But this is equally part of the danger she represents, because the corollary to leniency for the guilty is punishment of the innocent. Again, tongue-twisting, drinking does not go together. Both devices and more constitute the larger menace, the legal industry's capacity for proliferating the criminality it claims to be combating. If I was sober and reading this, how well do you think I would do?
You're doing pretty well.
Bankrolled hacks who allow dangerous criminals to devastate our cities and terrorize urban dwellers while targeting law-abiding citizens for criminal prosecution and persecution, and who engineered the lawfare operations against Trump and his supporters with draconian prison sentences, are only the most visible variations on the theme. Soros is simply mobilizing and directing attack dogs that are already well-trained and available to the unleashed. The criminalization of America has been ongoing for decades. In the assembly line justice meted out by most criminal courts, hearings last a matter of minutes when young men, for the most part, are sentenced to months or years in prison and consigned to lives of intermittent incarceration, poverty, and homelessness from which it is almost impossible to escape.
And it is against young men in general, whether or not they're black or white. In this case in particular, and we're seeing it now in the UK, like as I just was pointing out, is that we do live in a two-tiered justice system. We are seeing it in the US, we're seeing it in the UK now as well, which is that if you're a black gangbanger, you're going to get different kind of prosecution because than if you're a white guy who protested at January 6th. Let's just be clear about it. We've seen it. It's demonstrable. It's not arguable. It is. I mean, when the evidence and the data are there, they exist. We can see that, like, well, this person got this many months over doing nothing, walking throughout a bunch of cordons in the state, in the people's house, by the way, and they get 2, 3, 4 years versus somebody who goes and murders someone and then they get, oh yeah, well, I mean, it was complicated. They get a year. That's the world we live in. Go ahead, please, Spoon. I don't know how much of this article, because it is a relatively long article.
Fucking long article. We're not going to read all of this.
All right. Do you want to just... I think we get the idea, though. Right? I would suggest... I'll post this, because this is a really... I read this article. I think it's a really, really good one.
There's no way in hell I'm making it to midnight at this rate.
Oh, shit, dude. No way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to hold out.
I'm fairly sleepy and I've had a lot to drink.
Get some coffee. All right, so here's some basic facts about Kamala.
Coffee. It's spiced with rum.
Yeah, we'll drink more of the coffee part of it then. I mean, here's some facts about Kamala, okay?
What did you just say?
Drink some more of the coffee part of it then.
The coffee has rum. How am I doing that?
Don't worry about it. Just
what do you mean,
don't worry about it.
It's mixed together. How
I'm
do I
being
drink more
facetious, you silly Billy.
I am
anyway
too drunk to make funny statements.
Okay, so here are some basic facts about Kamala.
Kamala. She graduated from Hastings College of Law. The law school is ranked 82nd out of 196 law schools. She graduated, she took her bar exam, she failed. She failed the exam. She has never had her own business, never had any of her own employees, ever. 2017 to 2021, she served in the California Senate. During those 4 years, she worked on 164 pieces of legislation. Not one of them ever became law. What makes it worse is that she's a liberal governing in a liberal state, and she was still zero.
That's insane. Zero for 164 as a liberal.
And you didn't pass a single fucking thing. Which means for 4 years in the Senate, you did fuck all.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yep. In like the most liberal left-wing state in the United States. In the most lefty state, you couldn't get a single one of your 164 motions passed.
That's insane.
In the leftiest state in the country, except for maybe New York. But no, California's worse. And you couldn't get anything. That's how far left she is. And then she picks someone who's more further left than she is. This Waltz guy.
This was in California.
Yes, exactly.
You couldn't get any legislation passed in the most leftist state in the entire fucking union in 4 years.
Because she was too left for California.
That is insane.
Well, again, she couldn't get any... Remember that she couldn't get even on the ballot, essentially. She couldn't get, like, any support to even be on the Democrat primary in 2020. She had no support whatsoever. The only reason that Kamala is where she is right now, or ever has been, is because she is brown and a woman. That's it.
And because she fucked people.
Unelected. Yes, because she fucked people. She is unelectable on every level. She has never been liked by the people at all. She's never had any public support. She is an invented candidate.
For 164. So during the 4 years, she accomplished nothing. As vice president, she has a record, the lowest approval rating ever in the history of this country, 28%. Donald J.
And that is 28% with all of the media behind her, all of the media trying to blow up those numbers, trying to make it look better than it really was.
The exact same thing that happened to Clinton, by the way. All the money,
Yes.
all the media, and still lost.
Yeah, because you're an insufferable, annoying bint. That's why.
Trump. He graduated from Penn's Wharton School of Business. It's ranked #1 out of 124 business schools in the country. He has run many businesses over 53 years, employed hundreds of thousands of employees over that time. Currently, he has 22,450 employees split between men and women. That equates to hundreds of millions of dollars over time that have flowed into the economy. Personally, I don't just vote blindly along party lines. I just vote common sense. Let me keep it simple. If your parents had a company and you inherited this company and you didn't want to or couldn't run it yourself, who would you pick to run it? Kamala?
Or Trump.
It's not even funny.
Well, again, but this is a very
The
good point.
business
This goes
owner versus
into
the woman who has never
Yes.
run anything in her entire life.
and it actually goes into Moldbug's whole point about
The CEO.
the CEO is that who would you pick? Kamala Harris, who has no experience, or Donald Trump, who has extensive experience?
He said something
Who would be
interesting
the
about
better
Trump,
CEO
actually.
for the country?
He said Trump would make a really bad CEO, but he would make an excellent chairman of the board.
I think that probably makes sense as well from Moldbug's perspective. It makes sense as well. I'm gonna have to use the bathroom again. I'm gonna put
Do you
this
use the
on
bladder
though.
of like a 5-year-old?
A little bit right now. So I'm gonna put on this view
Oh,
clip. I'll be
God,
right
The
back.
View. I hate women.
Enjoy this. Have fun.
What do you mean? You're making me suffer, woman.
Enjoy your bed.
No.
3 phone calls were made from Schumer and Pelosi. Biden said, I'm in this thing, I'm not leaving. A couple phone calls are made, and all of a sudden he's pushed out. And in 48 hours, all the delegates aren't given a choice of other candidates. They're told, you're going to get behind Kamala.
That's actually not what happened.
Yeah, but where's the other choice?
That's not actually. The other choices decided she was the best choice. That's
But who
what they
decided? Who's
That's
they?
the delegates who were running.
The delegates
People
did.
who
The delegates
would've-
did.
Governor Newsom
But the delegates haven't
decided
voted
he
yet,
didn't-
guys.
The delegates decided.
But also,
No.
I'm saying Newsom said, I'm not going to challenge this. People decided who would have gone in to challenge, said, no, we're not going to challenge her. We actually think. So that's...
a lot of people
I can
voted
tell
for
you.
the ticket.
Well, let me just.
Go ahead,
There's
Becky.
another scenario that could have happened here where President Biden could have said, in order to give you a nudge and really make it a decision we're making, I could step down as president and you could step up right now. And she'd be going into an election.
But he didn't want that.
Right, but I'm saying that is actually something that's a little more
Let me
disenfranchised.
flip it if I could. What if I said, you know what, Trump, you're losing in the polls now, and we have another candidate, and the head of the Republican National Committee, and myself, and a bunch of others say, you're out. We're just going to instill Nikki Haley now because the polls
I
aren't
wish
good.
we had a party
Right?
that could operate that way.
But that would be awful. But everyone has to accept that would be awful for America.
Convention happened already.
Yeah, right. But that would be awful because the voters have to decide.
Why would it be awful?
Because
So
voters
you're
would decide.
openly
Not
wishing
only
you want an oligarchical party. That's what you just wish for. You wish to
Sorry.
bypass the democratic apparatus, and you wish you had an oligarchical cabal that just decided the fucking candidates.
So isn't it
Really?
curious? Isn't it absolutely
And
curious?
that's the Republicans saying that.
But isn't it absolutely fascinating that Whoopi Goldberg... Now, by the way, let's be clear about what happened with Kamala Harris being chosen as the Democrat electee. She was not elected. The people did not choose her. In fact, no one chose her. She was chosen by Joe Biden. Nobody chose this bitch. No. She was. Listen to me.
I think she was
In terms
elected
of-
for Biden does not like her.
I don't care about that. But I'm saying about... I agree with you, by
It
the way.
makes it much more interesting.
Well, I agree with you. But I'm talking about the logistics, right? Is that these are the people who have been screaming about more democracy, our democracy. Excuse me, let me find it.
Extremely dangerous to our democracy.
It's extremely dangerous to our democracy. We gotta talk about democracy all the time.
Gentlemen,
This is Democracy Manifest. Okay, so these people will not shut up about democracy. Well, the person that they're supporting was not democratically elected, was not democratically chosen. No one picked Kamala Harris. She was selected by Joe Biden, essentially. Just Joe Biden. No, that's it. No one picked her. No one. She was unelectable. She has been chosen by the powers that be. No one got a fucking chance to do any of this. And yet they're still out here being like, but my democracy, but my democracy, my democracy, but we're gonna...
Democracy
no,
is cringe, read some Aristotle.
Exactly, but they're not even defending democracy. Because Kamala Harris was not democratically elected.
Have you ever
Kamala
spoken
Harris,
to John Doe, by the way?
second-handedly, on like the internet, not in speech. No.
Yeah, I spoke to him on DM a couple of times actually.
Yeah. He's incredibly intelligent.
He's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. But again, here it is right out here. Like, what our democracy means when we win, and it doesn't. Democracy doesn't mean the will of the people, by the way. And they're just out. They're out here. No shit. But the fascinating thing is that they're out here on stage just saying it. No. It's not democracy because. No, it is democracy because we like her. So that's democracy when we like it. It's not democracy when we don't like it. It just illustrates that when they say democracy, they mean our oligarchy, our oligarchical power. Understand this and don't get it twisted, and don't forget that when people like Whoopi Goldberg and anyone else and Sunny and anyone else on The View says democracy, what they mean is our political hegemony. And you're not a part of it, and you're not allowed to be a part of it. Let's move into the brilliant campaign of Kamala Harris, shall we? Hang on, I gotta try my throat again.
Hey, Evie.
Yikes. One sec.
Sleepy, stupid person.
Come on, dude, if I gotta clear my throat this much, like the point where I'm causing myself to have a migraine, let's go. Here's some Kamala Harris clips for you.
Necessarily keeping those, so you're
Oh,
now no
God,
longer
this.
are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on
What?
your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's no longer in a physical place.
Oh, okay. You know, I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. Is it this?
I don't even know what they look. What do they look like?
They're in the computer.
They're in the computer?
Yeah, they're definitely in there. I just don't know how he labeled them.
I got it.
You gotta figure it out.
Roger.
The files are inside the computer.
It's so simple.
Yeah. Same level of intelligence. Zoolander tier shit. So Kamala demands wokeness. This is how you know this is gonna be a very winning campaign. It's gonna go great.
No, we have to stay woke.
Also, we have to stay woke. Also, one thing that's very odd about this is that now I've often spoken about this, guys. I do have a background in human communication specifically. That's my actual background is human communication
She looks
research.
drunk as shit there.
Yeah.
He looks plastered.
Yeah. So my research, my study is in human communication, not in psychology, not in sociology, not in anthropology.
I am drunk.
Congratulations.
I am toasted.
I'll keep the stream running for a little bit until Spoon gets.
I am smoked. I'm doing a Kamala Harris impression, by the way.
Oh, okay. So.
Aiden,
again,
do you realize that we need to stay woke? I don't know how.
We gotta
need to be
stay
more woke.
We gotta.
Just stay woke.
Spoon, I don't know. Spoon, you know, Spoon, you're my best friend. I love you.
Don't make it gay.
No, if you're gonna act drunk, act drunk. You know, I love you, bro. I don't know.
He sounds like
Okay.
Lee Evans now.
That's how they always sound. That's the drunk sound though. But
I'm
So-
slurring my words, and I will
However-
be president. When I am
however-
president, I will fire anyone that isn't white. I will out of a cannon into the.
oh, son. Yeah. Anyway, so but the thing that's actually interesting about her. Okay, like I said, I'm a calm person first and foremost. I don't talk a lot about things like body language and speech pathology because it's not my.
Lord of the
Even though it
Rings
is my
better than
area.
Star Trek.
Even though it's my area of expertise. speech pathology and things like that are very
The card
complicated.
was cringe.
I try not to get too much into them. However, something very odd is happening with Kamala's speech and nonverbals here. She's been doing this for a long time where she's like, the constant laughing, the constant giggly laughing is very disconcerting.
How are you not taking the bait to all of the shit? This is annoying me.
But this is way worse because I'm too preoccupied with this. Spoonathan.
Like everybody needs to be woke. And you.
Here's the thing. Look at her laughing. The other women are not laughing.
The blonde is looking
and you can talk.
This bitch is fucking out of her mind.
Yeah, she seems insane. So that kind of laughing is often done in order to get other people to laugh with you. But there's something there that's laughable. So the women are looking at her being like, what? I think
Me
the way that she's gotten...
Harris in a drinking contest, I am a man, I'm younger, and I'm significantly smarter than her. I can guarantee in a drinking contest I would whoop her ass.
Well, I think that what she's gotten away with through much of her life is that if she starts laughing in this very awkward laugh, then it will encourage other people to laugh. It's called communication accommodation, or CAT theory. And she just expects, she's like, I'm laughing, that means you're going to laugh too, right? So it's called reciprocal communication.
Okay,
the reality is, Kamala, you're laughing at nothing, and so the other women don't understand what they're supposed to be laughing at.
It looks psychotic, yeah.
And it makes you look just crazy.
Yeah, if you ever played World of Warcraft on the Alliance side, I think this drops in like Darkshire, or Duskwood rather. There's something called the Mugger Hurt, which is basically a mace one-hander. That's the thing that I would drink out if I was near her, and then probably clonk her over the head with it. Hence the name.
I don't actually think that. By the way, I see a lot of people saying that like she's on drugs, she's drunk. I don't know about that. What to me this looks like again is
on some substance. I don't think that's sober.
Yeah, to me it just looks like she's just trying to be like, I'm laughing, you laugh now too, right, ladies?
We need the Michael Malice explanation.
What did Michael Malice end up saying? That she's retarded.
But you said you have it there.
Well, I have the whole video, but it's a long video.
No, it isn't. It's like a minute long.
Wait, what? You sent to me then. I thought that whole Michael Malice video then is what I had. Send it to me. What you got?
About if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
She's so uncomfortable. Like, this is crazy. And she's so uncomfortable with the fact that the other women are not laughing with her. Send me that clip, though, if you can, please, Spoon. Who she picked, though, is this guy, Tim Waltz. We've already talked about him a lot, but here's Tim Waltz describing what he has to say. She says, stay woke, stay woke. Stay woke, ha, 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 stay woke, ha. Here's her new VP.
There you go.
All right, wait. All right, let me watch this this clip first, then. With Michael Malice.
If you're going after Officer Harris, you're either racist or sexist.
Officer Harris, thank you for calling her that. Accurate.
Sexist or ableist.
Right.
So they will use...
Ableist.
Yeah, because she's a retard.
Yeah, I saw this. This is great. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. She's literally retarded.
I mean, it's true, though. It's true. We just saw the clip. She's like, ha, 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 ha.
She's mentally challenged.
She's mentally retarded.
I mean, Ukraine is a country in Europe, and Russia is another country, and a powerful...
Yeah, I've talked about this many times.
...country, and Russia invaded...
Yeah, I always quote this because it's
basically, that's wrong.
And that's wrong.
...invaded Ukraine, and that's wrong.
What's really important is what can be unburdened by what has been.
What, did you know that, Spoon?
I've
that
known
what
many
can
things.
Be unburdened by what has been. Like that is the most. That is, no one knows what the fuck that means because it is literally meaningless. Yes. She just says, what can be unburdened by what has been. No one knows what the fuck that means, Kamala, because it doesn't mean shit. It's literally pointless syllables.
Yeah,
you are making noises that make no sense.
Before, when people used to speak, they might say something nonsensical, but at least they would say something. Mm-hmm. With her, It's just mindless word vomit. It means nothing.
Because it sounds smart to her idiot followers. Unburdened by what has been.
She's retired. Play the rest of the
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah.
I think of her as America's wine mom because bitch seems like she's 3 deep by noon.
Yeah,
and she's got the 3 phases of wine mom. She's got happy drunk. Oh my God, this cereal's got a rabbit on it. It's so great. Cackling, cackling, cackling. Then there is trying to drunk at work where you're trying to make sense, but you don't. Space is around us all and unites us all and inspires us all. And then
Jesus, Malice is so on point on this.
That's true, yeah.
and there's I'm being stern so you don't realize how plastered I am, and I'm making a point. Dr. Little Girl was me. Now I'm going to go upstairs and don't knock on the door because I'm going to pass out. So those are her 3 ways she talks, and those are the wine mom phases.
Ukraine is...
We heard it. But let's just listen to it again because it's like you can't get enough of it.
A country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
So basically, that's wrong.
Gentlemen,
I'm so brat. I'm
if,
so brat.
if the last
I'm a
year
65-year-old woman. I'm so brat.
If the last year of life on Earth has not made you realize women are incompetent fucking retards who don't belong in politics, you're not a real man.
I don't know this spoon. Don't you understand that when I speak with like this kind of
if you speak in that croaky manner, I will sober up within the space of 10 seconds and get
but
Bill to
I'm
hit you with the mess.
so smart. I'm here from California.
Aiden,
Don't you know that Ukraine is like a smaller country?
I will
Throw it to me.
you.
Throw it at me from
I
Ireland.
will-
Throw it at me from
I will
Ireland. Do
beat
it.
you until you speak like a normal human being.
All right. All right.
There you
Speaking
go.
of, well, this is not a this is the antithesis of a normal human being, but here is Kamala
Tim Pool.
Harris's.
Tim Pool, I'm
No,
saying.
not Tim Pool. This is Tim Waltz.
Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim. We're gonna find out why he's called Tampon Tim, but I'll give you the guys. I actually think I have it on my docket, but he's called Tampon Tim.
I guarantee you, if you scan his hard drive, you will find CP.
Yeah. Well, he's being called Tampon Tim because he put tampons into male
Hard Bastard? I
restrooms
want
in
his
the
opinion
state
on this
of
guy. I
Minnesota.
imagine Hard
You
Bastard
can
says some
imagine
basic
what
shit.
HB's opinion is. What's up, Bill? What are you?
Let
Bill, don't beat me. Don't.
let me
Bill,
message.
Bill's got the mace. Bill, I'm not doing
Go-
anything.
Do it. There you go.
Bill,
He heard
no,
me
Bill, I'm
use
not doing anything. Bill, I'm not doing anything. Don't pick that mace up here. I'm fine. Bill, don't
Get the
threaten
mace.
me.
Bill,
Bill,
get the
he's
mace.
got it. He's got it. He's threatening me with it.
Good.
Bill,
Threaten
don't
me
hit
with
me with
it.
that. Bill, don't hit me with that mace.
I hear
Bill?
it. Good man.
Bill, don't hit me with the mace. It's all right. We're gonna watch Tim Waltz now. Here he is being a
Good man, Bill.
fucking commie. Here he is.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
One
what the
person's
fuck does that mean?
socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Okay, now out of curiosity, why
Uh-huh.
can't I say the same thing and say one person's authoritarianism is another person's order?
Because it's they're the only ones allowed.
Okay,
have
but
authoritarian regime.
if you think authoritarianism is having borders, which is just the normal, stable part of having a nation state,
Uh-huh.
then I feel like my authoritarianism is really, really based, and you are a subject that needs to be basically whipped by my iron fist.
Pretty based. Now, I think you and I would both agree that at this point, and I used to really hate this, and it really hurt me, that free speech maybe
this
should have some caveats on it.
Yeah, this is where you're gonna upset people. You're
Well, no,
slowly coming
no.
down to my position.
I am for a good reason.
Yes.
Now,
It's almost like the spoon is not wrong.
no, you're not. And it's not just you, but it's that I used to be a very, very hardcore libertarian, free speech absolutist. And look, there are things that I absolutely will be absolutist on my free speech about. So, for example, I've talked about this before.
Criticizing homosexuals.
Okay, no, but like, no. Let's say something that I'll just say it from like there's people on Kiwi farms who hate me who said who don't like me, who've got all kinds of things that they've collected about that I've said over the years. They don't like me, and that's okay. By the way, they're allowed to say whatever the fuck they want. I will not only fight for their right to say whatever the shit they want to say about me, I'll pay for it. Okay? All right? I'm just being clear about it. I will defend to the death the right of people to talk shit. All right? You should be allowed to talk shit. That I believe is absolute free speech. So that I defend 100%. However, I do think there are maybe some limits of free speech. I do think that's true. And I hate to admit it. But Spoon, do you want to say where your limits on free speech are? Because I'd like to know your limits and see if I agree with them or not.
So my limits is more in the case of if you were to just look at what speech is, and I did a video on this that really pissed some people off, and people that pissed off are cringe homosexuals who I don't really care about. But I said speech is basically just information. Like it's just raw data. So you have to look in the case of what is animating particular individuals. I basically said a bunch of people have a certain operating system and antivirus, and the speech animates them into action. It doesn't matter if the speech is wrong or right. It's just that what do I say that makes people spaz? Like if you were some far leftist moron, fascist makes you spaz. Well, the people on the right are not fascistic. They basically just want you to fuck off. Like that's not really fascistic, but it makes them the idiots basically animate. So from a purely action to reaction perspective, saying fascist probably should be outlawed by some perspective because again, I'm going purely from the reaction. Okay, I'm not saying it should be outlawed in the case of state power, but something should clamp down on them, because if you leave them without any social repercussions, they get animated and do dumb shit. I'm not saying it needs to be the state, but there needs to be some regulation. The same way that if you go into a private business, you can't yell fire because it causes riot. The same way that you can't go into a private establishment.
Every single one of my libertarian fucking nodes is getting
but here's the thing.
Exacerbated and woken up by the shit you're saying.
In no circumstance can you say whatever the fuck you want at any given moment, because there's social repercussions for doing so. Yes, and in any given society, you can't say certain things because you violate a certain standard. You can't go out punching the shit out of people.
Sure. Yeah, you can't defame people. You can't actually lie. But sure, there's certain things that are not covered under free speech.
Yes.
However,
so
I'm very
don't want to insult because it will cause a reaction that makes the regime unstable.
And there's reasons why I don't call myself a free speech absolutist. So, for example, like there's stuff that I just don't think I think is gross. Okay, and I think that need not be in society. That is technically free speech, but like the Shad Man's kind of stuff that I don't think actually is free speech. But I hate that once you start to put into caveats and saying, well, I don't think that's free speech, then it opens up this floodgate of saying, well, then what is free speech? I don't want the US to become the UK in terms of what's free speech, right? I'm very afraid of that.
Yes.
So,
but the thing is, it's more, there needs to be a sovereign that holds power, that keeps the order. That's my main thing. People think the free speech argument, no, it's just that you're all wrong and you will come to my position on free speech because you basically operate on liberal idealism, which is complete horseshit. And yes, you can hate me for it, but I can guarantee you, every one of you that thinks I'm wrong now, you will eventually come to my position because you know I'm right. It's like it'll just give me time. I will 100% stake my reputation on this because I don't argue for shit that I come back up.
Yeah.
And
yes, I live in the UK, and yes, I agree that porn is not free speech, by the way.
Yeah.
Nessian Detective. I usually think that it was, but I've changed my mind on it. I don't think porn is free speech.
No, but I don't like this position, but it's based on... Okay, how can I describe this? Okay, think of it like this, okay? I'm actually going to put this in a video. Imagine, because the main thing that people always argue for this is that the best way to combat bad speech is more speech. Now, that's incorrect, and I'll explain why.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Imagine that your civilization is on a directory like a boat, okay? And the boat's direction is determined by AI. And so the AI is pulling all kinds of information from a certain pool of data that is helping it steady towards its directory, okay? But then you have this rogue element that is infecting the AI, and it is basically steering it off course, right? Now you can say, oh, we have to combat this by basically pulling more of the other information. No, because that rogue piece of information is still steering it off course no matter how little it is. Your main thing to get it to its correct destination is to find whatever is making that bad AI feed the information and kill it off. Because it doesn't matter if there's more information, the rogue bad information is still enough to animate it off the course. And that's your problem, is you can't make the bad speech go away with more speech, because what is animating it is still the bad.
True, yeah.
So you have to kill the bad speech. It doesn't matter what you think, because the bad is still animating more. It's not about correct, it's about what has the power to pull.
I think Tree Surgeon is that I don't think neither Spoon nor myself want laws in place of this. We're calling for civic action, not laws.
Yeah, it's not a state thing. You basically
because laws always end up and I would never call for free speech laws. That is inherently disgusting to me. I would never call for free speech laws. What I think we need is action against people taken in a different way. Taken in a civic way.
See, look, there's always a balance. Sense? There's always a balance of two. There's always a balance between the people and the one. Okay, which is basically
who gets to be arbiter in that case is the public, which is the public is awful and horrible and almost always makes the wrong decision.
Yes.
But I would still rather it be the public when it comes to free speech than it were the government. The government is always worse.
Here's the two balancing powers you have, okay? Think of it as a king with the power of the monopoly of the state violence, and there's the power of the people to be as free as they can, but also you have to expect a certain order. So the people, the sort of balance from a third party is you don't want to give the king complete control because he might do some fuck shit. But you also don't want to give the people control because they could fuck up the king's prowess and basically his kingdom. So you want basically to have the king to have enough order to keep the people orientated, but you don't want to give him too much power because he'll abuse it. The same way you don't want to give the people complete freedom because they might use it and abuse the power of the king, but you don't want to give them also so much freedom that they basically don't know how to behave. So there is a balance between the two that you must strike between where the king is happy the people is behaving in a certain good way, and you also want the people to respect the authority of the king. That is basically the equilibrium that you wish to maintain. And if the people get too much freedom, they do some really fuck shit, that's when the king might exercise authoritarian power. And if the people exercise too much authority power, then the people are oppressed by the power of the king. So there's always too much power can cause the equilibrium to fuck up. It's just how does the order maintain balance and how does it get restored?
Yep. Let's go through with this. I'm talking about our enemies' rights to speak. Let's go through to this guy because he's got plenty of things to say. Tim Waltz, and he's certainly a guy. So he replaced Minnesota's state flag. Here he is.
Ready. Whoa! Wait a minute.
So this has, if you can't see, this is a traditional style state flag with symbols of the state on it in the circle. The word Minnesota's on the flag. Here's what he's going to replace it with. Now, this is insane. This has been the state flag for like 200 years. And he just says, no, I'm going to replace the state flag of Minnesota. And was able to do it with this thing.
There, that's better.
Is it better? I like to point out, however, that that looks a hell of a lot like a whole bunch of Somali flags.
Imagine you're a white male and you kiss the ass of some Somali bitch.
I mean, it just looks like I don't know what it is.
From a civilizational perspective, you look like such a beta cuck.
Yep. It certainly looks like you're putting in a Somali flag. Now, He certainly is a cuck. Here he is, his most proud moment, allowing illegal immigrants to drive in the state of Minnesota. They don't have IDs, but now they can get driver's licenses.
It's done.
Yay! Oh, did you hear the high-pitched sound of that scream?
Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
I'd like to point out again, just for those who don't know.
How do you have laws for people that are not legally there? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I lost my driver's license in the state of Ohio because I didn't pay some parking tickets. I then paid the parking tickets to try and get my license back. I then paid the parking tickets again. I then paid the parking tickets again. I then paid the parking tickets again. I've spent over, at this point, close to $2,000 to try and get the state of Ohio to give my fucking license back. And they keep going, oh, well, we lost. Oh, we couldn't find it. We're so stupid. Oops. But you gotta pay us more money. That's the state of Ohio. Okay? They won't give me, someone who has a fucking license, an American citizen, my license back. After 4 different times they're trying to fucking pay them. Not just trying to, I mean actively paying them for it. Then be like, oh, we got confused again. Oh, man.
Doesn't it get drunk, Jordan Peterson?
That's how they sound. That's how they are, though, with me. It's how they've been the entire... Oh, whoopsie. And in fact, I even taught... Like, I have a friend who works at the Ohio... or who has people who know at the who work at the Ohio BMV, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. My account is set as license suspended, reason none. I'm not joking. Officially, that's the way it is on the books. License suspended, reason none. And because no one wants to admit they fucked something up, I will never get my license back in the state of Ohio. Doesn't matter. I can keep paying them thousands and thousands of dollars for the rest of my life. They will never give me my license back because they can't admit to ever being wrong. That's the state of Ohio. I know this now for a fact from someone who works for the state of Ohio and being like, oh yeah, oops, sorry. But we're not going to do anything about it because we can't admit to that. Meanwhile, that shit's happening. However,
I'm
Nancy Pelosi doesn't like this guy and thinks he's too far left for her.
I will say, I think the reason why so many women cheer on the shit, and this is my perspective, you will notice the women who cheer on the shit are ugly as sin.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the reason for that is because their own men find them repulsive, and the only way they will ever get laid is by bringing in a foreign horde because they actually want to get abused by them. I think from an evolutionary perspective, I think that is the reason why they invite a foreign horde is because they can't get dick.
I agree, you're probably correct. Yeah, probably true.
Because the women have absolutely no loyalty to anything. And
I mean, that's incomprehensible to me. It's incomprehensible to me, but I guess so. So here's Tim Walz talking about how he's so much further left than Nancy Pelosi.
And my record is so pro-choice, Nancy Pelosi asked me if I should tone it down. I stand with Planned Parenthood, and we won.
Which in this case means like post-birth abortions.
You could not ask
third
for
trimester
an
abortions.
easy candidate to just beat as a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, but again, he's Bernie Sanders without a single iota
without the charm
of the charm. Because I thought I'm the antithesis of a socialist. I was from the beginning a libertarian, and even I was like, oh well, Bernie's at least a little charming. Here have a little bit of this though.
Time of turmoil in Washington. A time that's also seen Representative Nancy Pelosi in what's become her customary position, front and center. The House Speaker Emerita has a new book out, The Art of Power, an art at which Nancy Pelosi is something of a master.
No, literally not.
She isn't.
No. I'm playing the whole thing because
jackass who basically illegally gained the crap load of money through insider trading with her husband.
Nancy Pelosi is the antithesis.
Is over $120 million. She is a lying snake who will die in power because she is terrified of letting go. She is like the worst sort of aristocrat that you can possibly imagine.
Yes, go off, King. 100%. She is the antithesis of what I want to be, which is my life goal is to be Lucille Bluth. And to be fair,
hate everyone.
No,
You're not a snarky.
Is what Lucille Bluth? I don't think I can play any of this. I'll get in trouble. I just want to be Lucille.
Get copyright struck if you do this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I just want to be Lucille. And Nancy Pelosi wants to be Lucille, but she sucks at it. I'm way better at being Lucille. You suck.
That is the woman who played Arthur's mother.
Yes. She plays the same
Archer.
character both in Archer and in...
She is actually like that as a character in real life, I imagine. She's very naturally good
both
at it.
in Arrested Development and in Archer, she's the same character, yes.
Yes. Just like
drunk.
an absolute ruthless ball-busting drunk.
That's my life goal. I wish I had the balls to be Lucille Bluth.
I actually
whatever
do-
Archer's mom's name is.
It's quite fucked up, but I actually find that attitude like kind of sexy. Just because like it has no filter, like none. Like
That's my goal. I wish that I can't be that way though. I'm like too nice.
Yeah.
I hate I don't like to say that about myself because that sounds like self-validating, but actually no, the reality is you and I both know this is that I am too nice to the point that it actually is it's deleterious to me. It hurts me.
Yes. You're friends with people who hate you.
Yeah, I'll stay friends with people.
Yeah.
Nah. At some point, you've pissed me off enough, Dev. At some point, you've pissed me off to the point where I'm tired. I'm tired of pretending to be friends. Yeah. And we'll see how that works out. Apparently, here's the thing about Dev too.
Oh, you wronged me once. You can fuck off.
Is that he doesn't know that his Discord is so full of spies that all the shit that he says just gets posted to us. Like yeah, because everything that he cries about to his Discord, to us about being like they're trying to make a document about it. They're trying to expose me. You got to go everything that they say. You have to just call them out about and then we just get sent. Scrump and I just get sent the fucking screenshots of him saying this. Yeah. Dev, sorry, but I don't know if you know this. I know that you do know this, but everyone in your Discord knows that you're wrong about this, and yeah, they're just saying us you freaking out. I know he does now. I don't care. He what's he gonna do? Lock down his Discord again, like he did last time? Okay, go ahead, Hemi, have fun. The reality is that he probably won't at this point because he's trying to pretend that actually Scrump and I are the crazy people. It's not gonna work out.
I think
meanwhile,
Dev
he's
has
like,
too
but
much
meanwhile, he's like,
public
please,
heat
someone,
to
can someone, well, he's like begging
losing
people
credibility.
he's like begging people to send him the document, thinking that it's complete, and it's like, no, it's not complete. The document's not complete yet. We're working on it together. And we haven't even involved half the people yet. We're still formatting the basic part of the document, and he's like, send it to me. Who's got it? Who's got it? Look, Dev, just because your Discord server is leaky as a sieve doesn't mean anyone else's is. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you see it or not. It's all truthful, and you know it is, and you have no way to combat it. The horrible shit that you've done to people over the years, and in particular the shit you've done to Scrump. And I'm all here for it. I'm all here to watch that shit finally come out. Anyway, let's watch this.
I think
here we
it
go.
might end up on my channel.
It's gonna end up on yours, yeah.
Yeah, because Scrump.
Don't worry, Spoon. It's gonna get hundreds of thousands of views probably because people are gonna wait. It's gonna get a lot because people are wanting this. Anyway, here's Nancy Pelosi on Kamala Harris.
She's talking with Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes about matters public and private.
My husband and I have never talked about this. The doctors have supported.
Yeah, of course you haven't talked to your husband about this because he's
brain damaged.
He's bringing men over to the house. Yeah, getting hammered.
Yeah.
That because they don't want him to revisit it.
Because of the trauma of October 28, 2022, when a man broke into their house in San Francisco.
You mean your husband's lover? Yeah.
Can we just? Because we did a video on this. We did a live stream.
Yeah, we did.
This dude was on camera. He was able to just walk to the back, crack open the window, walk into the house, call the police, right? Because Paul Pelosi was calling the police and saying they just know this dude, apparently. And he was there this whole fucking time while the police go to the house, and they're standing in the fucking entrance by the front door, him in his underwear holding a hammer.
Yep.
I want to know, how in the hell does a dude break
Look how
into
happy
your house?
he is. He's like smiling, and
Nothing-
this guy's
nothing
been
was
over the house
done,
before.
okay? And by the time the
Been over there
police
before.
come, you were there waiting from the police call to the time they open the door to the point where he's holding a hammer with you in front of the door, and no one finds that fucking weird. Like, how the hell? I want to know what happened between the time you called the police to the point where you
Because
somehow
this
came
is
to the
his
front door
gay
with a hammer.
hookup. They get hooked up before. This is Paul Pelosi's gay hookup. Also, I gotta say something, Paul Pelosi. Look at this now. Jesus Christ, my dude. Your legs are as thin as mine, and there's no excuse for that. I'm a cripple.
Old.
Well, I guess. Why do your legs look like mine? I guess so. Jesus H. Christ. Looks terrible, dude. I'm saying that about myself more than you. Anyway.
Hit Paul Pelosi, then 82, in the head at least 3 times with a hammer.
Yeah, why is he there in the first place?
Surgeons had to remove part of his skull to save his life. You were the intended target.
Yes.
He was looking for...
Why?
He wanted to get insider trading secrets.
Excuse me, where's the evidence of this? Evidence, please. Where is the evidence
There's apparently
that
manifestos,
Nancy
I'm sure.
Pelosi... But he had been there before, right? So this is a post facto
I don't
thing.
know.
Yeah.
To be fair, when it comes to this whole story, there are so
this whole
many
story's
weird
retarded.
things that
Yeah.
I don't believe shit here, because there's
I-
so many things
exactly.
that sound dicey as fuck.
I agree. I have no idea what
I just
happened.
don't yeah.
I genuinely have no
I
idea
don't
what
think
happened
anybody
here.
knows.
But I do not believe anything. I know what I saw, which is that this guy had been in their house a whole bunch of times before.
Why was Paul Pelosi in his underwear in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seems very suspect to me.
Was looking for
Are you
me.
telling me that you
Imagine
couldn't,
the guilt
if
of
the guy
all of
broke
that.
into your house and he was able to stay on the phone with you, you telling me you couldn't just put on some pants?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Put some pants.
I mean, you called the
come on.
cops, but you couldn't put on pants?
Right, that is weird. Well, he's
Really?
smiling. It's very odd. People don't know I'm a cripple. Yeah, I'm
Aiden
crippled,
can't
man. Yeah, I have to use a cane and stuff, guys. I mean, I can walk. I can walk. I just can't walk very far. I have to use a cane and stuff. Which, I should get like a really awesome cane, shouldn't I? I should get like a dope one, like a super neat one. Like, looks cool. But I need the ones that have the...
Spoon was drunk an hour
No.
ago. He's sobered up. Yeah, I sobered up pretty quick, actually.
You do. But if I get a really cool cane, though, Spoon, I need one of those ones that have they need the 4 points at the bottom. You know, and you can't get
Diamond at the top.
well, no, like they need the 4 little points at the bottom so that you can really get a good grip on the ground. Like a 1
Get
point
a
cane
Kim
doesn't
Cam
work.
and stop being gay.
No, because that won't help me walk. Like I need the 4 points. I need the.
Oh
I
shit,
need
are
the
your legs
old-
that you need that?
Cause they're real shit,
You
dude.
don't need
They
a cane,
suck.
you need a fucking walker, you weirdo.
I do have a walker. Don't laugh at me, dickhead. Fuck you too.
Funny.
Let's go back to this. Love you, homie.
That it's just a horrible thing.
Pelosi describes the horror in her new book. One of the most gripping
The
moments
horror.
in this chapter
The horror.
is when your daughter, a documentarian, Alexandra, says to you,
That's a guy.
"You have to give it up," she said to you, yelling. "The speakership, Congress, everything in your public life." So did she blame you or?
Well, I blame me. I mean, not blame me. I was the target. My family, frankly, blames the certain elements of the Republican Party who had been demonizing me for about 20 years, every election and the rest.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Could it
Cloven
be
feet,
because
horns
you
on the
are-
head.
You are
lying
literally, do
bitch.
you realize she is literally related to mafia members?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this?
Yes, I'm well aware.
Yeah, she comes from like the original like Baltimore mafia gang
Yeah,
that like
yes.
ruled the mayor office.
Yes, she's
literally
complete
comes from a mob.
mafioso.
Yeah, she comes from mob heritage, actually, which might explain why she's been in power for so fucking long. Is because she
Weird.
has
Why would that happen?
crooked connections, so to speak. It also explains why she's able to do a whole bunch of shady shit when it comes to the stock market.
Yep.
Yeah, so the reason people attack you, Nancy, is because you are a corrupt piece of shit.
Yep, exactly.
A horrible person, in flames, a devil, and all of that.
Well, you are a devil, and you're a horrible person, yes. You are actually satanic.
The sad thing about my husband's assault was that they just made a joke of it.
Well, yeah,
because it was funny.
Because he was hiring a hooker. That's why it was funny.
And also, here's the thing, okay? I will openly insult and mean and make fun of people who are objectively bad people, okay? The people who relate this incident to the guy that got shot, who was
let's talk about that.
Firefighter.
That's
Okay, the guy saved the life of his children by throwing himself in front of gunfire. That is a noble thing to do. You and your family, Nancy, are corrupt pieces of shit who should be in prison or treasonous, and you should hang from a noose. Right? So when horrible things happen to you, I don't give a shit because you're objectively bad people.
Yeah. And I'll point out when we were talking about Dev, so I'll bring it back up. Dev got into a bunch of trouble because he put out some tweets that made it look like he was justifying the death of Compratore.
Yeah, the comparison
the man who was shot. Yes, and he was like, "Ooh, people are upset about this. Ooh, no, my upset SpongeBob meme." And then he said on Side Scrollers when he was confronted about it that he was like,
apology.
"Oh, I didn't understand. I'm just retarded. I don't understand this." Well, he's come out again. I've got it now, all archived, that he's again back out here saying, "Oh, look, there's more proof that Compratore supported Trump. That means he deserved to be fucking slaughtered." Now, he didn't say that, but why is he continuing to ask for, he's like, "Can people please provide me with more evidence that this man was a Trump supporter? Give me more." He was at the fucking rally. Of course he was a Trump supporter. He's like, "Give me more evidence of bad things he said. I need the bad things that he said so that I can support the fact."
Guy getting killed. Like, stop this.
That's always, and then he said on Side Scrollers, and he said on Archcast, like, "That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying. No, I just made a mistake." He's still out here trying to say, actually, it's okay the guy got killed because of his fucking beliefs. Well, Dev, I don't think you're gonna fucking like the video that I'm about to put out. It's not the video that Scrump's putting out. I'm making my own video. Has very little to do with you. You're just gonna be featured in it a little bit. Okay? You're not gonna like it because it's gonna just show you for who you are. And for about 10 seconds, it's all the time I have for you. I have no more time than that for you in my video. My video is 2 hours long. I got about 15 seconds for you, Dev. That's about all I got. Okay? I really don't have any more time than that. Now, for what Scrump is putting together, that's going to be, I think when we get it all together, it's going to be 20 people, maybe.
Damn.
Who are going to have their say and going into, like, explaining why Dev has been a disingenuous bitch, cocksucker, piece of shit, lied about so many of us for so many years. And people were asking me, like, "Aiden, why do you keep bothering with this? Why do you keep bothering with this?" Well, why do I keep bothering with
must
it?
Be lit on fire.
Why do I keep bothering with the Dev stuff? And everyone tells me, stop. The reason why, guys. No. The reason why, guys, is I don't like liars. But the main reason is that I was lied about. Sure. Me being lied about, that happens all the time. I don't normally do much about it. I just kind of go, okay, someone's lying about me. What I can't abide is my friends being lied about. And it's been so long, and it's been so many people I consider friends or I'm friendly with, that I couldn't abide it anymore. It's not because of me that I'm mad about this. It's because of you, Spoon. Because of Dev lying about you. Because of Dev lying about Zulu. Because of Dev lying about Scrump. People who are my close friends. People I've met in real life who I know. And I can't stand by it anymore and let this guy just keep lying about my friends. That's it. That's it. If people want to know, like, well, Aiden, why are you going after Dev? Well, Because I'm really tired of him coming after both me and lying about me. But lying about me is the least part of it. What I'm really sick about is him lying about me, yes. But more sick about is him lying about my friends. I can't stand him lying about my friends. And I won't stand by it anymore. I have done a bad job as a friend by not speaking more publicly about it up until now. Anyway, let's go back to this. What were we at? Oh, this thing, yeah.
Stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco. Crazy Nancy Pelosi. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know?
They thought it was funny, and people laughed. So he was an instigator of violence, and then made...
Was it violence? Again, to them, laughing at them is violence. Oh, sorry, Nancy. Didn't mean to cause you massive damage there.
Made light of it.
I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
There have been reports that it was Nancy Pelosi who orchestrated a coordinated effort to squeeze President Biden to drop out. Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Well, I've never...
Look how happy she is. Oh, look at how fucking happy she is. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm important again.
I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't.
Sure. What the fuck is this, Spoon? Like, what the hell is this, honestly? I don't even... I genuinely don't understand what this goddamn interview is. Spoonathan? Mm-hmm. Oh no, he better not have left. What is this interview? I don't understand this.
Don't want to own this. But it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't.
Excuse me, what? I wasn't leader of any what?
You were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No. Pressure campaign, and then she says...
I wasn't a leader of any precious party. Well, let me...
Of any precious party. So she's also out of her fucking gourd.
You say things that I didn't do. I didn't call one person. I did not call one person.
That's very true, Nancy. You called like 50. You're right. Thank you, Nancy.
Could always say to him, I never called anybody. What I'm...
What? Again, oh my God, what a beautiful little pivot. I didn't call anybody. I called everybody.
Saying is, I had confidence that the president would make the proper choice for our country, whatever that would be. And I said that. Whatever that is, we'll go with.
Had you seen a decline in Joe Biden, and did you think he...
Was everyone in this fucking video like a fucking dinosaur?
Step aside.
No. My whole point was, whatever he decides, but we have to have a more aggressive campaign.
She mentioned his many accomplishments, including his forceful leadership of the NATO summit with other Western heads of state.
What's going on?
So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States.
A Mount Rushmore kind of president. So that's a good segue. And did you know about this? Spoon.
Mm-mm.
That Nancy Pelosi has...
It's been a...
It is in this. Is that she is called for... Sorry, I guess it wasn't this. I had it just... She has called for Joe Biden to be put on Mount Rushmore. How do you think that's going to work?
Not very well.
All right, not going to work out well. So this Waltz guy, he was the George Floyd dude in terms of he was the guy who supported all of the burnings of the city. And I'm going to be very clear. I want to read part of this. The Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris's running mate Waltz's actions in the aftermath of Floyd's killing by a white Minneapolis police officer are being criticized by allies of the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and far-right pundits. This is Reuters, so it's trying to take a neutral position, but let's be clear. Supporters have praised him for being instrumental in prosecuting the officers involved in Floyd's murder, Waltz and his team have said that they dealt with issues as best as they could, including by deploying the National Guard. But they didn't. The two-term governor acknowledged his decision to delay deploying the National Guard and called the city's response an abject failure during a press conference a few days after the protests gripped the Twin Cities and the greater Minneapolis area, causing extensive damages to buildings, businesses, and a police precinct that was overrun by rioters and set ablaze. Now, if you don't know what that means, this Tim Waltz guy was asked, do you want to send in the National Guard? And he said, nope, 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 nope. I don't need it. Then he called it in after they had actually taken over a police precinct. Then he said, okay, we'll call in the National Guard. Huh? That's just letting you know who this dude is, all right? Complete and utter abject loser who worships Saint Floyd. This guy is the reason why Minneapolis burned. He's the reason why people lost hundreds of millions of dollars in their homes and their businesses being burned to the ground because he didn't give a shit and he told the National Guard not to show up. That's the Tim Waltz dude. Here he is. This is the BLM riots in Minnesota in 2020. And here he is saying, today, on the 1-year anniversary of his death, we honor George Floyd. In the days following his murder, Minnesotans raised their voices in a call for change that spread across the world. We have reason to believe that bad actors continue to infiltrate the rightful protests of George Floyd's murder, which is why we're extending the curfew by 1 day. So we're going to let you riot more, because we have an idea that there's some bad actors there. So we're going to let you act that way longer. Here's the reason for the title of the video. He has a DUI. Excuse me. I gotta put this over here. I'm gonna play this, wait, did I put this in the right thingy? Yeah, I think I did. Make sure I got this correct. Oh, no, I didn't. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna play this first because I'd like you to see this. This is just.
I just want to say, deadass.
Deadass.
The reason why I'm wearing this fucking yellow fucking weird thing.
What's it about?
Is my ass is gonna be doing community service for the state of Utah. Woo! I got a DUI, baby. Anyways, I just want to say, if you guys see me up on the freeway picking up trash and all this bullshit, feel free to honk your horn. You know, feel free to say, hey, Tony Jones, ladies man, out the window, and I'll wave back.
Here he is. So, Kamala Harris's VP, though, Tim Waltz, also did get a DUI in 1995. Here he is. He was driving 96 in a 55. I have to point that out. I'd like to have my fucking goddamn license back, the state of Ohio. Give it to this guy. 96 and a 55. Got a DUI, baby! Oh yeah, and he was under the influence, by the way. Let me point that out. He was 31. It was in 1995, so like we can't be able to shit for forever, but he did get a DUI as a school student, or as a school teacher, driving nearly twice the speed limit. Over twice the speed limit, or close to twice the speed limit. Wowee. How curious. Now, you might think, well, Aiden, that's a long time ago. Maybe he was just driving twice the speed limit, you know, when he was only 31 years old. I'm 34. What the hell? I wouldn't do that shit. But when he was 31, he was cool driving twice the speed limit. But maybe he's a young springbok. He's a young springbok. He doesn't know anything about anything. He's a young boy. He's a young lad at 31 years old. He's also lied about his military record, allegedly. Let's look into that.
In a way, he's back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
Uh-oh, is he maybe stolen valor?
We'll get to Barron's new message for voters in a moment. But this all starts years earlier when Barron says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018. So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
When I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this, North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq.
Wowee.
At the time, Walz served as the unit.
So in other words, they knew about this for the last 8 years, and it's been completely 9 years, and it's been ignored completely. Just the fact that he's stolen valor. By the way, if this comes out in the large scale that he's stolen valor, he loses everything. Stolen valor is the worst thing you can be.
Its highest non-commissioned
in terms of American public approval. Stolen valor and then pedophile, like those are the two layers of it. Stolen valor, really, really, really bad, and then pedophile. I'd say those are the levels of it, right?
Officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress. Tom Barron's was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, if this guy quit, if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that? If a company would say that we're going to deploy to Iraq or somewhere and you're going to be gone for whatever amount of time, and then a foreman just says, no, I'm not going. I mean, what does that say to the 500 people that work in that factory?
Barron's would go on to serve in Iraq on a nearly 2-year deployment as a command sergeant major. All while Walz began using that title as a congressman. Barron says he first contacted...
What a piece of shit.
Walz with his concerns, sending these letters to Washington. They all went unanswered. But then we fast forward to the election in 2018 in Minnesota, and you try at that time to get people's attention with this story and also with what seems to be a very misleading statement that he continued to make about his service.
It kind of just sat there. You know, when he was a congressman, he bragged that he was a command sergeant, retired command sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House, and all this lie that he was telling. The state of Minnesota came out after 2018, after this was exposed, and they said, well, he can say that he served as a command sergeant major, but he can't say he's a retired one because he's not.
And that's what he was saying.
And he was saying that, and there was lots of public, lots of cards coming in the mail, for him to be elected.
Let's be really clear about this. This guy's a complete and utter liar. He's an utter liar. He's lied about everything. Like, the best he can get away with is like, well, technically, I did serve, but just can you give me all these other things? Can let me have all these other things? No.
They said right on there he's a retired command sergeant major, just tooting his own horn, just hanging on the coattails of people that actually are command sergeant majors that went through all the process and put all the time in.
He might be.
A spokesperson for the Minnesota National Guard said Walz wasn't able to retire as a command sergeant major since he failed to complete coursework and requirements related to the rank. Verified documents show the Army corrected his service record. Walz was reduced in rank to an E8 master sergeant after retirement and his conditional promotion. Alpha News again asked Governor Walz if he's using the command sergeant major rank on his campaign website for political gain this year.
Yeah,
a spokesperson said this has been in the news before and pointed us to a past story where Walz said, quote, normally this type of partisan political attack only comes from one who's never worn a uniform.
Oh, fucking top yourself, you vile piece of shit. This man actually served. You did nothing. And, oh, he's never served. That's why he would. This man right here who's talking about it, he was in the unit you were supposed to serve in. You fucking.
It's stolen valor is really what it is.
He is stolen
valor. I don't know
valor.
of anybody else that's done what he's done. But we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
In 2018, Barron's gave the story the full court press.
We, retired command sergeant majors of the Minnesota National Guard.
Barron's felt he had no choice.
I mean to skip this, but can you imagine the fucking audacity to go back to these people who are real soldiers and saying, well, actually, I did serve and they don't have enough on me, and what a loser. Like, you are such a piece of shit. They have all the evidence on you that you didn't serve, that you went home and slept a cushy fucking life. What a lunatic. This is the person who Kamala Harris has chosen to be her vice president. Now, Spoon, I should ask this question at this point to you. Is all this shit with Tim Walz, this is all fake, right? Like, they intend to lose. The left is intending to lose this entire election. Yes. Do you agree? Spoon. Spoonathan. Okay. Well, Spoon appears to have gone to sleep. But I will say that I believe that all of this is fake. I believe that all of this is trying to give legitimacy to an election that they actually have no legitimacy that they're giving towards. By that I mean that they're saying, oh, look, we're running a real legitimate political campaign. But they're not. They intend to lose. In fact, they want to lose. They want to lose because they want Trump to win so that they can pretend to be victims. It's part of it. It's very, very, I think, all planned out. So I think this is all part of it. Spoon appears to have gone to sleep. So I'm going to do a couple more things here, and then we'll head to bed, shall we not, lads?
To bring forth the truth as we know it concerning his service record. I put together information on it, and I sent it out to every single radio station and newspaper and TV station I could in the state. The bottom line in all of this is gut-wrenching and sad to explain. When the nation called, he quit.
Twin Cities TV stations and the Star Tribune were silent, even after Barron says the newspaper checked it all out. The Star Tribune endorsed Walz in 2018 for governor. Between lockdowns, riots, unchecked crime, and a charred police precinct, Barron's felt he had no choice but again to come forward.
Allowing that to be burned down was just like having the Alamo get burned down. It's like, no, you defend that to the last man. You know, if he would have went to Iraq, he'd still be hiding under his desk over there. Because that's just...
Dude, this guy is so based.
You know, just the cowardice that I seen portrayed with him.
So how about when he also comes out and he calls you guys 19-year-old cooks?
I'd take any 19-year-old cook before I'd go to war with him. I don't know how he could even utter such a statement. I mean, it's just...
You know why? Because he hates you. He hates the American people. He hates everyone he served with, because he didn't actually serve with anybody. He hates you. He hates America. He hates Americans. That's why he said something like that.
It's just absolutely sad.
So this election year, it's all built up again to Barron's...
I mean, let's be clear. Like, he just hates Americans. That's why he's having a problem with this guy.
Yep. Grain bin message.
He called Jacob Fry an abject failure. So I was like, you know, that's what he is.
Walz is a traitor, also made a return.
And the last one I put together, he said it himself too, as well. If they don't like my job, they can vote me out. So I wrote, we got to vote him out. We need to vote him out.
Let's go. Good for that guy. Good for that guy. So there was a man-spreading thing that happened, where oh, hello. So
the people
so JD Vance put out this video.
who call me weird want to give like hormone therapy.
So we already talked about the weird thing last week, which is that Biden apparently, now we now know that it was from Tim Waltz, who apparently created, or allegedly created, the Weird campaign. That was his baby. Weird. So then JD Vance comes out and talks about the weird stuff. And here he is talking about it.
Therapies and sterilize 9-year-olds. Like, I think it's a lot
Yeah, it is weird to sterilize 9-year-olds. That is weird.
weirder than, you know, me just like living a normal life with my kids and my wife. But this is what they do, I think, is they latch onto a message and they try to sell it even if it's fake. And I think, you know, again, to go back to something Trump said, or we were talking about Trump earlier, is Trump's superpower in politics is he just doesn't give a shit, right? He doesn't care what they say about him. He's going to be himself. He's going to tell jokes.
Very true.
He's going to say things that drive some people off a wall, but then when you actually listen to what he said, he's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that you just, if you're going to be in politics in the social media age, you've got to kind of have a thick skin and just do what you need to do.
Now, I've been very clear, I think, last
accurate.
week about my opinions towards JD Vance, which is that I don't trust him. I read his book. As an Appalachian, having read his book made me distrust him. Okay? Now, I don't know.
He's a politician.
I hope he's good. I hope he's okay. But I read his book, and it gave me really bad vibes. As an Appalachian, it felt like a Yankee trying to write as if he was from Appalachia. Now, that was my perspective on it. I could be wrong. That was my perspective. But AOC responded to this clip saying, "Why are you sitting like that?"
Oh, did you have the clip where she is sitting the exact same way?
Oh my god, would I have a possible clip where she's sitting like that? Oh no, here she is sitting like that. Oh no, here she is sitting like that. I hate women so it's just fucking unreal. It's unreal how much I hate women. I'm losing my mind. Why are you sitting like that? Why are you sitting like that, AOC? Why are you sitting like this? It's so... Talk about fucking politics. Stop talking about this bullshit no one gives a damn about. Now, it's working out great for you and the squad and AOC because Cori Bush just got voted the fuck out. Cori Bush, one of your squad members. She gone, isn't she? Uh-oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye. In Missouri. Goodbye, you're done. You're done, goodbye, Cori Bush. And not just Cori Bush. Not just Cori Bush. So is Jamal Bowman. Another squad member. Bye-bye. You're done.
It's like a horror show. The blacks never survive.
You're done. Goodbye. Goodbye, Cori Bush. Goodbye, Jamal Bowman. You're done. It's interesting that AOC is the only one who appears to be surviving any of this, and Omar by a thread. Meanwhile, by the way, guys, if you didn't notice this week, the stock market collapsed. Did any of you fucking notice that the fucking stock market collapsed? Well,
Some would call history in the mix.
Don't say that. We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy big tech. Here we go. Look at them go down. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down. Let's pull out Apple. This is interesting. A question for you.
Wowie. Nikkei dropped 225, 12% in Japan. Biggest drop in the country since 1987. The entire world economy is collapsing. And they're just going, oopsie poops, look at this. Look at this shit. And they're just acting like it's nothing. Well, who could be behind this? Why do you think the economy is collapsing? Why do you think so? I wonder why. Well, here is what the reality is that if you don't vote for Joe Biden, Raskin here is going to tell you that
he's out of his fucking mind.
That you're going to go to jail for the things that they accuse you of doing if you didn't do them. Here you go.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer.
Why is this stating. He looks so blurry, but the background is more in focus.
So, really they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody.
There we go.
That's not going to happen.
Just saying, we're not going to allow Trump to win. Trump can't compete. They're already saying, no, he will not be allowed to win. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. He will not be allowed to win. They're just saying it outright now. I don't know what I don't understand even, like, why are they saying this openly? You're not supposed to say this openly, you idiot. What are you doing? You're not supposed to say this part openly. This is the part you say in private. What are you doing?
In Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection.
Actually, the Supreme Court's a super huge job, dude.
Simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
So here's someone on the left just saying outright that they're going to lie and cheat and steal. There it is. Speaking of lying, cheating, and stealing, my last little couple points before we head out is that the Olympics. This is the International Boxing Association. The World Boxing Association. No, International Boxing Association. I was right. Feels it's appropriate to note that they disqualified Lin Yuting and Imam Khalif from the championships in 2023. This qualification was a result of their failure to meet the eligibility criteria for participating in women's competitions as a set laid out by IBA regulations. This decision was made after meticulous review and was extremely important and necessary to uphold the levels of fairness and utmost integrity in the competition. Now, as far as I understand this and have been able to look into this, this was not even about hormone levels. It was about genetic testing. And we'll look into this here in a second. So, the two women who beat the shit out of other women who looked like the two women who looked like men who beat the shit out of two women in the boxing competitions had been not allowed by the International Boxing Association to compete in other championships in both in Istanbul and in New Delhi because they did not meet the criteria of being female. And what did they mean by that? The problem is that they can't show, that organization cannot publicly show the information because that is private medical information. However, what they have said is that they did not have they didn't have XX chromosomes. They had XY chromosomes. So, I don't really give a fuck. People are like, oh, but they're technically female. They're technically female. They have XY chromosomes. They're male. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry if it hurts your feelings. But you know whose feelings I care more about? The women who got the shit beat out of them by a bunch of men. So, also another man won in the Olympics. Transgender non-binary runner in Paris. Wow, why is it that all these men keep winning in women's sports? Almost like because they're men. Anywho, that's the end of the show, guys. So let me go hit these super chats, and then we will head out, shall we? Thank you guys so much for hanging out and just chilling with us tonight. Ardent Party for 2 Canadians says far-right thug life merch equals or is greater than Redbubble, which is greater than Ardent Party. Or I think I got what you meant there. I think I got what you meant there. DRT is king for 20. Says feudalism is the step necessary to go from savages to a civilized people. So in truth, the West and Japanese have gone through a revolutionary development as feudalism is both diffusion of power and is post-apocalyptic. Yeah, I'd say so, DRT. Kiza, who's been a member for 19 months, says, the current events are definitely why I should be king. I have zero sympathy to those who voted for this nonce apologist, and all of those protesters are merely helping create Airstrip 1. Don't bite, but merely record/archive it. Yeah, true, man. Linda Hunter gave a gifted Broken Crown membership. Thank you. To I think Wheelie. Yeah, thank you to Wheelie. Thank you, Linda, for the membership. Kizza for another £5 says, evening, did you all hear about Nick Knowles, Hope Not Hate, promote of fake news of a Muslim being a victim of an acid attack a few days ago? Yes, we did cover that. Thank you. Kizza. Dragon's Treasure for 5 says, since the Trump butt assassination, it feels like there was a global shift in people's psyches. Yeah, it's what my new video's on. I'll be going over it to the best of my capacity. I had to try and figure out what the hell was going on there, and I think I did, but some of the data are a little weird. I was honestly kind of confused by some of the data. It's rare that I look at stuff like that and I go, oh, I don't understand, but I didn't understand some of the stuff here. Big Chris for 5 says, thank God I live in Phoenix. I've been armed since 1996. BLM tried to start something back in the day, not realizing everyone is strapped in Arizona. Yeah, exactly. Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz for 10 says, this is the punishment for Brexit, both from the EU and the Remainers in power in the UK. Send the trash on to the ones who dared tell Brussels no. Oh God, maybe. Lance for 2 says, a daughter for a daughter, a son for a son. Oh, sad. Atris Uranus for 5 says, it was not part of their blood, it came to them very late, with long arrears to make good. Oh, yeah, very good quote, very good quote. Big Chris for 2 says, Islam isn't a race, you midwit. I never said that. I would never have claimed that Islam was a race. Joe Manchin. Yeah, if you think I said that, then you misunderstood me. Joe Manchin for €2 said Trump was almost assassinated 2 weeks ago, by the way. I know. We all know. Crazy, isn't it? Hasselhopper for 2 says yesterday all the gingers still had parts to play. They still do. They still do. Don't give up on the gingers yet. And for another 2, Hasselhopper says, now they've been cast for blacks and gays. Yes, there you go. Exactly. Linda Hunter gave 2 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Linda. Joe Manchin for €2 says Kamala versus Spoon drinking contest. Who wins? Probably Kamala. Hayden75 for $10 says unburdened by what has been.
There is no way in hell I would get my ass kicked by some half-breed bitch who can't fucking talk.
Very
Get
true.
the fuck out.
He woke up
sober
for that.
enough. Yeah, exactly.
Like he woke up for that.
He's like, no, I will not be beaten by this piece of trash. Fuck you.
He woke up. Hayden75 for 10 says, unburdened by what has been. Unburdened by what has been. Actually sounds similar to the point.
With some half-breed prosecutor. Like, fucking wake up
Actually,
and feel the rage.
Exactly. Actually sounds similar to the point of what Big Mike said. We must change our past to change the future. Maybe something there, despite her other Kamala-isms. Oh yeah, that is very similar to Big Mike's messaging. You're actually really good point there, actually. Holy shit. Kizza for £5 says, Eden, why should our enemies have the right to speak? They should be silenced indefinitely, and we'll see how many bad ideas disappear, guaranteed. Yeah, I agree with that. But, I mean... Yeah, don't interrupt your enemy while they're making a tit of themselves. Lance for 2 says Nancy Pelosi is the platonic ideal of a lich. Absolutely true. Completely true. That is like the most true thing I've ever read, Lance. Absolutely. Horwitz, Feinberg and Horwitz for 5 says, good lord, it's necromancy Pelosi. I know. It's very scary. And for another 5, Horwitz, Feinberg and Horwitz says Pelosi couldn't admit to Joe's cognitive death spiral, as it would draw attention to her and all the other near corpses that won't let go of the office. Absolutely. Well, lads, it's nearly 1 a.m. I think we're going to head to bed. Hope you've enjoyed this. It kind of sucked in terms of reality sucks. But we will see you all next week. I will be covering, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the, I really don't know what to do with a lot of the stuff that's going on in England. It makes me feel very upset and very disturbed. But we'll be trying to keep a hold on it, shall we? And we will talk to you all next week. All right, lads? Okay. We'll see you all then. Cheers. And take care. See you all next week.
Wait. One thing.
What?
Christopher 2.
What?
Christopher 2. No, the Todd on TV you was watching.
No, the
Who's
Todd.
the Todd on TV?
Thank you, Big Chris. I don't know. I know he's referring to.
There was many Todds on TV.
I don't know what you're referring to, Big Chris. It's funny that you just managed to wake Spoon up out of nowhere. However, while I'm ending the stream, we will see you all next week. Thank you all so much for all of your donations. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.
Cheerio.
Take care.